Chapter 126. Ha ha ha. A wild, uninhibited laughter rang out from up ahead. Linley sent out his divine sense to scan the area, and a gratified smile appeared on his face. Boom, boom, boom. The sound continued to echo. The originally happy mood was ruined by the loud noises just like that. All right, stop fooling around. I didn't ask you to cultivate for fun. It's to prove that you elves can cultivate. Of course, more importantly, I want you to be my disciple. Lin Ray looked at the boy in front of him who was madly venting his excitement after cultivating spiritual energy. He hurriedly told him that he wanted to take him as his disciple. Why do you want to take me as your disciple? Lin Ray was completely speechless. Lin Ray thought that this child was naive, but he didn't think that Cullen would be so naive. Look. Did you cultivate the thing I gave you and become so powerful? Right. Hearing Linley's words, Cullen nodded his head in agreement. Then do you want your entire clan to have such a thing, such power? Yes. Cullen nodded again with a yearning look on his face. Then do you want to be even more powerful than you are now? Do you want to leave this land and go to a wider place to play? Yes. Cullen's eyes were filled with yearning when he heard Lin Ray say that he could go to the outside world. It was as if he had been looking forward to this for a long time. Isn't that enough? As long as you acknowledge me as your master, I can guarantee that you will be able to leave this place. I can also guarantee that I will bring you to many places and see many things. In fact, I will even give you whatever you want outside. Seeing Cullen nod repeatedly, Linley chuckled. In his heart, he had already decided that he was going to take Cullen as his disciple. Yes, I am willing to take you as my master, but you have to promise me that you will give me the cultivation method of the elven race. Also, you have to take me to see the vast lands outside. But most importantly, you have to convince my mother. She has been very fond of me since I was a child. I'm afraid that if she knows that I want to leave, she won't agree. Ha ha ha. Hearing Cullen say that he knew how to do it as well, Linley laughed. He laughed very happily, and in his heart, he was incomparably excited. The feelings of homesickness which he had been hiding for so long were now completely aroused. Good, good, good. Since you said that you want to take me as your master, then hurry up and kowtow to me. From now on, you are my, Lin Ray's, disciple. You are my, Lin Ray's, disciple in seclusion. Yes, disciple Cullen, the next king of the elves, swears to the heavens that from now on, I will take Lin Ray as my master. I will honor, respect, and love you for the rest of my life. I will treat you as my own father and do whatever you say. If I lie, I will enter the 9 underworlds sea and be torn apart by corpse puppets, never to be reincarnated. After Cullen finished speaking, thunder rumbled in the sky as if he had received Tendo's approval. Good, ha ha ha, good. From now on, you are my, Lin Ray's, 5th disciple. I will nurture you diligently and make you a powerhouse in the profound sky continent. No matter where you go, you will be worshipped by the people of the world. After hearing Cullen's oath, Lin Ray, who was already very fond of Cullen, couldn't help but like him even more. Amen, thank you, master. Amen, hurry up and drip your blood on those clothes and weapons. They will become a layer of defense for you in battle. At the same time, you can also change your clothes. As my, Lin Ray's, disciple, how can you wear such clothes? When he saw Cullen's tattered clothes, he couldn't stand it any longer and told Cullen to wear the clothes he had given him before. Oh. Hearing his master's words, Cullen hurriedly followed Linley's instructions. He cut open a small wound on his hand, and one drop of blood after another fell onto the magic treasures on the ground. Instantly, as soon as the blood touched the magic treasures, a brilliant light flashed. With a whoosh, the magic treasures on the ground disappeared. When they reappeared, they were already on Cullen's body. At this time, Cullen was no longer the same. His tattered clothes had now become a rich young master wearing luxurious clothes, especially the equipment on his body. Ha ha ha, good. You're not my disciple. As the saying goes, clothes make the man. After wearing these magic treasures, your aura as the Elven Queen's sun truly shines. Not bad, not bad. Seeing Cullen's current appearance, Lin Ray's eyes felt much better. However, the person involved didn't think so. Master, so these things are all clothes. I thought they were something fun. Seeing that Lin Ray hadn't given him anything fun but clothes, Cullen's face revealed a trace of displeasure. Ha ha ha, indeed, you are different. You should know that these magical treasures of mine are all top-notch existences within the magical treasures. Even if I were to casually take one out, it would cause an uproar within the profound skyland. However, why is it that when it comes to you, it becomes clothes? No, it's just, Lin Ray couldn't help but surrender after listening to Cullen's long string of buts. Alright. Don't buts. You just want something fun, right? Saying that, Lin Ray took out some supreme-grade spirit stones from his storage ring and handed them to Cullen. He smiled and said, Here. Look at these things. They're so pretty. Not only can you play with them, but you can also buy a lot of things outside. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen, who had lowered his head in disappointment, raised his head and kowtowed. When he saw the supreme-grade spirit stones in Lin Ray's hand, his disappointment was swept away. He quickly grabbed the supreme-grade spirit stones and started playing with them. He's still a child. Alas, it seems that I have to train him well in the future. Otherwise, he might be cheated by someone and even have to count money for them. Seeing Cullen like this, a serious look appeared on Linley's face. He didn't want Cullen to always be so happy. Although he should have a happy childhood when he was young, this was something that could only be achieved when he was powerful enough. Seeing Cullen like this, Lin Ray didn't disturb him. Instead, he sat there alone and started cultivating. Soon, Lin Ray sat there and it was already night. Master, hurry up. I've roasted some fruit for you. You've been sitting here all day. Go eat something. At this moment, Linley, who had been quietly immersed in the selfless realm, was awakened from his trance by Cullen's voice. Phew, hee, Cullen. Do you know that Master had just entered a very difficult cultivation realm? He hadn't cultivated for long before he was summoned back by you. Alas. As Linley spoke to Cullen, a look of regret appeared on his face. When he thought about how he had just entered the Inata state, he felt a surge of excitement. The Inata realm was the most difficult state for a cultivator to enter. Once a cultivator entered it, their future would be limitless. This was Lin Ray's second time entering it. The first time was when he was undergoing his tribulation and was reminded by the little dragon. Master, I am sorry. I didn't know that you. After hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen knew that he had messed up. It's fine. You can't force this. It's not like you can't enter it again in the future. Don't take it to heart. Upon seeing Cullen's self-reproach, Lin Ray quickly changed the topic to the roasted fruit. Yes, but Cullen, didn't you ask me to eat your roasted fruit? Over there. Let Master see what Xiaowu's cooking is like. Oh, okay. I'll bring it to Master now. After hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen, who was in a state of self-reproach, happily went to bring the food that he had made for Lin Ray. On the other hand, Lin Ray smiled after he successfully created a topic of conversation. Shortly after, Cullen brought the food that he had roasted. Even though it wasn't very good, Lin Ray still finished everything. Burp. A loud sound came from Lin Ray's mouth. At the same time, Lin Ray placed his hand on his stomach and leaned against the book with a look of enjoyment. How is it, Master? Is the food that I roasted good? Seeing Lin Ray's satisfied expression, Cullen smiled and asked Lin Ray. Okay, let's stop messing around. Eating isn't very useful to me right now, so it's fine to eat once in a while. But you can't waste your cultivation time on cooking and eating. If you have time, it's better to cultivate and increase your strength as much as possible. After all, when you go out in the future, you'll have the strength to protect yourself. Oh. Hearing Lin Rei's reprimand, Cullen calmed down. But at this time, Lin Rei was still as carefree as before and didn't understand the meaning behind Lin Rei's words. Okay, Master will ask you something. You have to answer truthfully. Is this matter very important to Master? After everything was settled, Linley began to ask Cullen about how to break through to the heaven level and how to become a heaven-level alchemist. Cullen, do you know if there are any heaven-rank alchemists in the elven race? Or do you know a way to break through to the heaven rank? Heaven-rank alchemist? Hearing his master's words, Cullen looked at Lin Rei with a puzzled expression. Yes, a heaven-rank alchemist. And no. There has never been a heaven-rank alchemist in the elven race, let alone a way to break through to the heaven rank. Boom. At this moment, after hearing Cullen's answer, Lin Rei's mind went blank and he froze in place. Chapter 127. And no? Ha ha. Lin Rei came back to his senses and his eyes were filled with madness. In an instant, the martial Emperor Divine Spear appeared in his hand. Suddenly, a murderous aura filled the surroundings. The temperature gradually dropped. Although it was night, the temperature here was no different from the temperature during the day. However, Lin Rei's surroundings were as cold as ice. Swish. 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 Everything that felt Lin Rei's murderous aura, whether it was flowers, grass, trees, or spirit herbs, all withered in an instant. It was extremely strange. Why? Why is there no way? Why? It shouldn't be like this. Suddenly, Lin Rei's spear seemed to come alive in his hand. It was incomparably agile as it danced in Lin Rei's hand. Flames, afterimages of spiritual energy, and martial skills were used by Lin Rei. Suddenly, it was dazzling, making Cullen envious. Boom. 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 Lin Rei's cultivation was gradually rising, and his movements were getting louder and louder. After sensing Lin Rei's cultivation, all the birds and beasts in the forest wanted to run to the depths of the Black Forest. Even the spirit herbs that had already become spirits were uprooted from the ground. Of course, the intelligent ones naturally didn't know this. In the depths of the Black Forest, in a place with excellent scenery, a group of people like Cullen walked out of the mountain. They raised their heads and looked in the direction of the loud noise with dignified expressions. What's going on? Why is there such a loud noise? At this time, a very beautiful woman with a crystal staff in her hand walked toward the group step by step with a dignified expression. Reporting to Patriarch, we don't know. As for the loud noise, it seems to be from the entrance of the Black Forest. One of the men below, who was slightly older but could still be considered strong, recounted everything that had happened after he heard that the Patriarch had appeared. Oh, the entrance of the Black Forest? Hearing this, the woman showed a dignified expression, but in the next moment, she became anxious. Cullens. Have any of you seen Cullen? Suddenly, the woman seemed to have gone crazy. She asked the people below, but those people shook their heads one by one, as if to say, we didn't see anything. Chief, I know. Cullen said he was going to the entrance of the Black Forest to see if there were any delicious fruits, but he hasn't returned yet. Just when everyone was about to turn their heads, a delicate and pretty young girl walked out and said to the Patriarch who was holding a crystal staff in his hand. What? You said Cullen went to the entrance of the Black Forest? Hearing the little girl's words, the woman who was addressed as the clan leader hurriedly walked in the direction of the Black Forest. As for the others, after seeing that the woman had left, they also followed her. The group of people quickly traveled through the dark night. Their bodies were light and graceful. Even though it was night time, their clothes were not stained by a single leaf. Boom. 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 The sound was very loud. At this moment, Lin Rei was obviously no longer as imposing as before. Slowly, the martial emperor divine spear in his hand stopped moving. He stood there in a daze and looked up at the sky. Tears couldn't help but flow out of his eyes. Red Lotus, I really want to save you, but now it seems that everything is just wishful thinking. Master, what are you doing? I haven't finished speaking yet. Although we elves don't have a heaven-grade alchemist, we are famous for being array masters. We are born with extremely high mental strength and talent in arrays. Although I don't know what kind of alchemist you are, since you all have the words heaven grade, I think the two shouldn't be too far apart, right? If you know the way to break through to the heaven grade array master, then it's not impossible to comprehend the way to become a heaven grade alchemist. But the spear technique you practiced just now was really cool. I don't know if it's possible. No, you. Why are you taking such a big breath about such an important matter? Linley had already been in despair, but upon hearing Cullen's words, Linley felt as though he had just been a clown. Thinking back to what he had just done, Linley couldn't help but laugh helplessly. No, master, the spear technique you used just now was really cool. I want to learn it too. Master, can you teach it to me? When Cullen heard that Lin Ray wasn't going to teach him the spear technique, he immediately went to Lin Ray's side and sat on the ground, hugging Lin Ray's leg and acting coquettishly. You. Seeing Cullen's actions, Linley chuckled. All of the unpleasant things that had happened just now, thanks to his disciples' antics, were instantly forgotten. I really don't know what to do with you. Okay, I'll teach you. Get up quickly. If others see this, they'll think I'm bullying you. Really? Master? After hearing Lin Ray's agreement, Cullen, who was sitting on the ground, quickly jumped up and pulled him to an open space. Master, hurry up and call me. I want to learn it now. Ugh, you really do whatever you want to do? Lin Ray knew that if he didn't teach him now, he would probably be pestering him in the future. Lin Ray had no choice but to obediently teach Cullen the spear technique he used just now. Karen, in a moment, open up your sea of consciousness. Master will impart the spear art's form and technique to you. Master's comprehension of this spear art over the years will be transferred to your sea of consciousness. This way, you can cultivate according to Master's comprehension. But don't rely too much on Master's comprehension. You can comprehend your own way of using Master's comprehension. That way, you'll be able to use it smoothly. Hearing his master's words, Cullen obediently opened up his sea of consciousness and quietly stood in place, waiting for Lin Ray to impart the technique. Okay, watch carefully. This is the spear technique I just practiced, Silent Thunder Spear Technique. After saying that, Lin Ray's left middle finger tapped on Cullen's forehead. Immediately, the spear technique Lin Ray had just practiced and some words appeared on Cullen's forehead. Immediately, Lin Ray was wild with joy and an excited smile appeared on his face. Soon, after the spear technique was imparted, Lin Ray directly took out the Huiyun spear from his storage ring. It was a top-grade treasure weapon he had obtained from killing people. He threw it in front of Cullen. Take it. At this time, you should have a weapon that belongs to you. Since you use a spear like Master, Master can't be stingy, right? Wow, thank you, Master. After seeing the Huiyun spear, Cullen's eyes could no longer see anything else. Cullen took the Huiyun spear from Lin Ray and quickly made the Huiyun spear recognize him as its master in the same way as before. Shwa shwa shwa, Cullen held the Huiyun spear and practiced the spear technique Lin Ray had just taught him. Although he was not as agile as Lin Ray, it was still okay. With Lin Ray's elixirs, Cullen quickly practiced the spear technique over and over again. Lin Ray stood aside and watched his disciple practice the Silent Thunder Spear technique so quickly. For a moment, Lin Ray, who was standing aside, walked over with the Martial Emperor Godly Spear in his hand. Come, Cullen. Today, Master will be your whetstone for a while. I will help you polish this Silent Thunder Spear technique and let you understand what the real Silent Thunder is. After saying that, Lin Rei did not give Cullen the chance to regret. In an instant, the two spears clashed. Lin Rei also suppressed his cultivation, so the speed of the two was the same. However, in the end, it was Lin Rei who had the upper hand. "No, master, let me win. No matter what, you are still my master. How can you bully me like this?" When Cullen saw that he was suppressed by Lin Rei, he instantly panicked and hurriedly begged for mercy to Lin Rei. "Humph. Today, I will teach you the first lesson." "Humph, today, I'm going to teach you your first lesson. That is, when facing an enemy who is stronger than you, never say no early and never admit defeat. Even if the opponent is your master, you have to use all your strength to defeat him. Remember, on a real battlefield, no one will show you any sympathy. The outside world is not as beautiful as you think. The weak are prey to the strong, and only the fittest survive. This is the most important sentence that I'm going to teach you in my first lesson." Yes, Cullen's bloodline seemed to have been stimulated. After hearing Lin Rei's words, he roared at Lin Rei. At the same time, his eyes were filled with ruthlessness. The Huiyun spear, which had already slowed down, once again attacked Lin Rei crazily. "Ha ha ha, as expected of my disciple, Lin Rei. Good, this is the only way you can protect the people you want to protect. This is the only way you can have the capital to survive in the profound sky continent. As long as you have enough strength, you can bring your elf race back to the eyes of the people of the profound sky continent." With every word Lin Rei said, Cullen's attack power would increase. Under Lin Rei's incessant stimulation, Cullen's attack power doubled. With a boom, a wave of energy rippled from Cullen's body and his attack power increased by several times. At the same time, the patriarch with the crystal staff led his people to the side when Lin Rei started to provoke Cullen. When the patriarch saw his son holding a spear and fighting against a stranger, his eyes were filled with surprise and relief. At the same time, tears flowed down his cheeks. Is this still the young master who only knows how to fool around and not do proper work? When did he become so strong? At this moment, all of Cullen's people revealed expressions of surprise and disbelief when they saw his appearance. It was as though they had never seen something like this before. Chapter 128. Ha ha ha, not bad. You're really not bad, Cullen. Cullen, your current achievements are great. Even your senior brothers and senior sisters can't compare to you. Do you know that? By now, the battle was nearing its end. Linley had said what he wanted to say, and he couldn't hide the excitement on his face. It's all thanks to Master. If it weren't for Master's warning just now, I would still be that weak and ignorant Cullen. Upon hearing Lin Rei's words, Cullen looked at Lin Rei with grateful eyes. In an instant, he couldn't express his feelings for Lin Rei. Ha ha ha, alright, let's not talk about other things. Just based on the way you want to protect your family, you are already very similar to me. However, protection is protection. You can't be bound by your family. In the future, there are still many important things waiting for you to do. But, upon hearing Lin Rei's words, Cullen wanted to defend himself, but was choked by Lin Rei's words. No buts. Only when you're strong enough will you have the ability to protect your family. If you're held back by your loved ones, how are you going to protect them? Perhaps you can't even protect yourself, not to mention your family. Cullen said and stood on the spot in silence. The Huiyun spear in his hand paused in midair. His eyes were dazed. Sigh. Do you know that the outside world isn't like the place you're living in now? This place is like a paradise while the outside world is a dog-eat-dog world. Even the people closest to you may be swearing undying vows of love to you, but they might stab you in the back at the next moment. That's why you must have a resolute heart. I know that you can't accept what I'm telling you now, but this is something that a cultivator must experience. Upon seeing Cullen's dazed eyes, Lin Rei told him about some of his spiritual herbs, hoping that he would wake up soon. For a long, long time, Linley continued to accompany Cullen in this spot, waiting for Cullen to come to his senses. The heavens didn't disappoint those who waited. After standing here for an entire day, from morning, until now, Cullen finally came to his senses. The confusion in his eyes disappeared. Master, I understand. I won't do it again in the future. In the future, I will definitely become an expert, strong enough to protect my family. I won't be pushed aside by anyone, and I won't be hunted by anyone. I want to be so strong that they won't dare to look directly at me. This sentence that didn't fit Cullen's age completely shocked Lin Ray, the Elf Queen, and the people that the Elf Queen brought along. The happiest person was none other than Linley. Right now, Linley was truly overjoyed. He was overjoyed that he had taken in such a good disciple. This disciple was handsome, had a good life, and had a personality that was very similar to his own. Alright, if you want to become a powerhouse, you can't avoid mountains of corpses and seas of blood. Therefore, from now on, you must seize every minute, every moment, and every second to cultivate. When you are strong enough, you will recall your current efforts and realize that everything you have done is worth it. At this moment, Linley seemed to have turned into a lecturing professor. He was talking non-stop to his students about the necessary conditions to become a powerhouse. Yes, Master. I'll do my best to reach that level. But before that, can I go back? I've been out for a long time. I'm afraid that my mother will be worried. Lin Ray, who had just finished speaking, should have been very happy when he heard the first half of Cullen's sentence. However, when he heard the second half, Lin Ray felt that his words had been spoken to the air. They didn't reach Cullen's ears at all. Sigh, forget it. In the end, you're only a 10-year-old child. My expectations were too extravagant. Lin Ray sighed when he saw Cullen's appearance. He shook his head and sighed at Cullen's age. Alright, aren't you looking for your mother? Then hurry up and go. They've been here for a long time, but they didn't come when they saw us fighting. With that, Lin Ray pointed to a dense forest in the north with a hint of killing intent in his eyes. Really? Cullen hurriedly ran in the direction Lin Ray pointed in after hearing Lin Ray's words. At this moment, the Elf Queen knew that her group had been discovered, so there was no need for her to hide any longer. She led her people out of the dense forest. Ah. Mother, it's really you. Cullen, who was jogging, sped up when he saw his mother walking out of the dense forest. Cullen, slow down. Don't fall. The Elf Queen couldn't help but run 2 steps forward when she saw her son running toward her. Plop. Cullen came to the Elven Queen's side and tutored her. His voice was filled with longing. Mother, why are you here? Humph, you still have the nerve to say that. Last night, there was a huge explosion here, but I couldn't see you at that time. Only after hearing from did I know that you came to this place. Tell me, how can I not come? The Elf Queen was a little angry when she heard her son's question. Well, I know it's my fault, but there's really no point in staying here. Besides, I'm already sick of the food inside, so I came out to find something delicious. But, seeing that his mother was angry, Cullen hurriedly acted coquettishly and changed the topic to his master. Mother, do you know? If I didn't come out, how could I have such a great master? Look at my clothes and Huiyun's spear. They were all given to me by Master. Besides, Master taught me cool martial arts for a day. Do you want me to show you? Cullen quickly got down from the Elf Queen's body and displayed the artifact that Lin Ray had given him. Then, he pulled out the Huiyun spear from the ground and prepared to show it to her. Alright, you're the most dishonest. When I came here yesterday, I saw you and your master fighting, so I didn't go out to disturb you. Besides, I've already seen the martial arts you used. It's very good. Also, your cultivation shouldn't be weak. Seeing her son become so successful after a night of not seeing him, which mother wouldn't want to see her son become outstanding? Yes. My master is very powerful. He's much more powerful than me. Also, I feel like master still has a lot to teach me. For a moment, Cullen kept saying, "Master, Master," which made the Elf Queen a little unhappy. "Oh, since that's the case, why don't you hurry up and take Mother to greet your master? Otherwise, it would seem that our elf race doesn't know etiquette." "Oh, I'll take you to see my master. My master is not only very powerful, but also very handsome." After getting the Elf Queen's permission, Cullen hurriedly pulled her to where Lin Ray was. The group of elf residents naturally followed the Elf Queen to Lin Ray. Soon, Cullen brought the elf race to Lin Ray's side. After seeing Lin Ray, Cullen hurriedly came to Lin Ray's side and said mischievously, "Master, this is the Heaven Rank Array Master I told you about. At the same time, she's also the current head of the elf race and the mother of your disciple, Milo Cargill." At the mention of his mother, Cullen's face was filled with pride and arrogance. "You're the elf race's Heaven Rank Array Master?" Hearing Cullen's words, Lin Ray took it seriously. After all, she was the only one who knew how to become a Heaven Rank Pill Master. That's right. Why? Did you come here for me?" Seeing Lin Ray's extreme reaction, Cargill knew what Lin Ray's purpose for coming here was. "That's right. I came here to ask you how to break through to the Heaven Rank. I've been trying for a long time. I've already reached the peak of the Earth rank in the past year, but no matter what I did, I couldn't break through to the Heaven rank. I don't understand, so the only thing I care about is finding a Heaven rank Pill Master." "Oh, I didn't expect you to have already reached this stage at such a young age. Heroes are really rare." "That's true." When he found out that his son's master was an alchemist who was about to break through to the Heaven stage and had such a high battle prowess, Carger's eyes were filled with astonishment as he looked at Linley. "Huh, you're joking. But what I want to know the most right now is how to break through to the Heaven rank. I'm very anxious. If I can't break through in a few months, I'm afraid my lover might not wake up and die forever." Speaking up to this point, Linley's eyes were filled with pain as he stared at Cargill. "So that's how it is. But I'm very sorry. Our ancestors have decreed that we can't teach our elven race magic to break through to the spirit force. So, I'm very sorry. Although you are my son's master, I'm very sorry." Boom. Linley's mind was completely blank. He really didn't know what to do. If he hadn't accepted Cullen as his disciple, it would have been fine. But now, it was too late. "Mother, you can't be like this. Look, I can already cultivate. Moreover, Master promised me that he would definitely make me stronger in the future. At that time, I'll have the ability to protect our elven race and let our elven race reappear in the eyes of the world. Isn't this the hope passed down from generation to generation?" At this moment, Carger fell silent after hearing his son's words. Chapter 129. "Mother, I'm begging you. Please help my master." Cullen knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Cargill. Lin Ray, who was standing by the side in a daze, was grateful to Cullen when he saw his disciple pleading for him. "Patriarch, why don't you tell this young master the method to break through? Since he can guarantee that the young master will become stronger, our elf race will be able to reappear in the world and we won't have to hide here anymore." At this moment, the elves who were still unrestrained also knelt down and begged Cargill after seeing Cargill. Cargill was struggling in her heart. On one hand, her son's clansmen were kneeling in front of her to plead for a stranger. Although she really wanted to agree, on the other hand, she couldn't disobey the orders of the previous clan leader. For a moment, all sorts of feelings welled up in her heart. "Mother, you, sigh. Forget it, it's not like I can't tell you how to break through, but you have to promise me that Cullen can become a powerhouse. You have to promise the elf clan that one day, you have to let the elf clan return to the profound sky continent. If you can't do it, the elf clan will kill you even if it means risking the lives of our entire clan." Upon hearing Cargill's words, Lin Ray returned to his senses and the gratitude in his eyes was self-evident. "Okay, as long as you can help me break through to the Heaven stage, I guarantee that your elf race will return to the profound sky continent. But Cullen, even if you don't say it, I will nurture him with all my heart, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, I'm relieved to hear that. But before that, you have to teach our elf race the cultivation technique and let our elf race return to the peak of the ancient era. Hearing Cargill's words, Linley didn't even hesitate to agree. Laughing, he said, "All right, I agree. In a while, I'll give the training technique to Cargill, and he'll transmit it to you." As he spoke, Linley retrieved a technique manual from his interspatial ring that could allow one to train up to the Mahayana stage, handing it to the kneeling Cullen. "Yes, master." When Cullen saw the cultivation method handed to him by his master, he excitedly took the cultivation method and nodded to the kneeling clansman behind him. "All right, get up." Seeing Lin Ray agree so readily, Carger felt much more relieved. He then hurriedly had Karun and his clansmen, who were kneeling on the ground to plead for Lin Ray, stand up. "All right, since this matter has been resolved, let's go back. There are still many children in the clan. It would be bad if something happened to them." After seeing that everything was clear, they prepared to go to the place where the elves lived, but Lin Ray stopped them. "Patriarch, let me take you away. That would be faster. Besides, aren't you worried about the children in the clan?" Since that's the case, then, all right." After hearing Lin Ray's words, Cargill thought for a long time before finally agreeing. "All right, everyone gather here." Upon hearing Linley's words, everyone gathered together, surrounding Linley in the center and forming an encirclement. "All right, close your eyes. When you open your eyes again, we'll be there." Upon hearing Lin Ray's words, everyone closed their eyes. On the other hand, Lin Ray released his cultivation in the lower stage of the Calamity stage and enveloped everyone with his spiritual energy. Then, he teleported to the place that Curran pointed out. "All right, we're here." When they arrived at the elven encampment, Linley woke up all the people who had their eyes closed. "What? We're here?" Some of the elves exclaimed in disbelief. But after taking a closer look, they realized that they had indeed returned to their home. "Ah. Master, what kind of ability is this? I want to learn it. Can you teach me?" At this moment, after witnessing this scene, Curran approached Lin Ray and wanted Lin Ray to teach him the teleportation spell. This isn't a spell, but it can be considered a spell. It's just that this kind of spell can't be taught. When you reach a certain realm, you'll understand. At that time, you'll automatically have this kind of skill. Lin Ray didn't want to reveal his cultivation in advance, so he didn't explain too much. "Oh." Hearing Linley's reply, a look of disappointment appeared on Cullen's face. "Sigh. I'm sorry. It's all my fault for spoiling my son." At this moment, Cargill, who stood at the side and witnessed this scene, apologized to Lin Ray in shame. "Oh, it's fine, it's fine. That's why I took Curran in as my disciple. I believe that he will definitely become a powerful figure in the future. But right now, he's still inexperienced, so, it's understandable." Hearing Cargill's words, Linley hurriedly explained Cullen's true potential, while at the same time, a look of anticipation appeared on his face. I'll leave it to you then. It's nothing." After that, Cargill brought Lin Ray to the residences of the elves and visited every house. The elves were curious to see Lin Ray, a human whom they hadn't seen for 100 years. Every time Lin Ray visited a house, it would be packed full of people and they would only give up when they couldn't fit anymore. Curran, the people you wrote about are so passionate. I didn't expect you to be living so comfortably here." After seeing the residences of the elves, Lin Ray also yearned for it. But he knew that this was an extravagant wish for him. "Master, it's not like that." "Of course not, Master. I've read in the notes left behind by my ancestors that there are many strange places in the outside world. I'm really looking forward to the outside world. I just don't know what kind of climate we'll be able to go out." Hearing his master's words, Curran quickly told Lin Ray about what he saw in the notes left behind by the elves' ancestors. His eyes were filled with the desire to go out. There will be a chance. Once the matters here are settled, I'll bring you back to my sect. At that time, you can have whatever you want. Curran smiled at Lin Ray's words and then brought Lin Ray to Cargill's room. Master, I'll take my leave first. My mother said that she'll tell you the breakthrough technique in a while. After bringing Lin Ray to his mother's room, Curran bowed to Lin Ray and Cargill before leaving. Fellow Daoist Lin, haven't you always wanted a technique to break through to the heaven rank? It's just that I can't give it to you right now. You can only experience it yourself, I'm powerless. When only Cargill and Linley were left in the room, Cargill was the first to break the silence. What? Lin Ray thought that he had misheard and asked again, Patriarch, you said you want me to experience it myself? I came here to ask you to teach me the method to break through. If I had a method to break through, why would I come here? That's right, but it's not what you think. Seeing Lin Ray so excited, Cargill promptly added, I can't give it to you because I don't know how to break through to the heaven rank. But our ancestral land can. If you have no problem, I can send you to our elven race's ancestral land. At that time, you can comprehend it yourself. At that time, I used that method to successfully break through to the heaven rank. Oh, your ancestral land? Hearing Cargill's words, a trace of embarrassment appeared on his face. But in order to break through to the heaven rank, Lin Ray didn't have time to think about that. That's right, our ancestral land. There are some spirit strands left behind by our ancestors there. When the time comes, you can casually come across one and ask them for guidance. Hearing Cargill's words, Lin Ray happily smiled. Thinking about how he would be able to break through to the heaven rank and become a living red lotus, Lin Ray felt a burst of excitement. Then let's start. Lin Ray simply couldn't wait. Thinking about how there were still 6 months until Red Lotus death, Lin Ray became even more anxious. Okay, close your eyes in a bit. Our elven race has a rule, so I'm sorry. It's fine, you can start. Lin Ray didn't mind Cargill's words. After all, he was going to enter their ancestral land. Spirit differentiation, spirit strand array, activate. After Cargill chanted an incantation, a ray of light fell on Lin Ray's body. In the next moment, Lin Ray disappeared along with the ray of light. Sigh. I hope you won't be ostracized by your ancestors. If that's the case, even I, the Elven Patriarch, won't meet you. Seeing Lin Ray disappear, Cargill, who was sitting on the spot, revealed a trace of regret in his eyes. Feeling that his face was now on solid ground, Linley slowly opened his eyes. What he saw was a picturesque scenery, filled with the fragrance of flowers. Not only that, but there was also a person sitting by the river, fishing with a fishing rod. He seemed to be having a good time. Could this be the elven race's ancestral land? Looking at this scene, Lin Ray was suspicious of Cargill's words. However, at this moment, Lin Ray was even more suspicious of the old man who was sitting by the river fishing. Step by step, Linley slowly drew closer to the old fisherman. He gave him a warning look and asked him to be prepared for battle. Grandpa, may I know where this place is and how can I reach the elven race's ancestral land? Grandpa, when can I reach the elven race's ancestral land? I really have something urgent. After seeing that the old fisherman didn't respond to Lin Ray's first question, Lin Ray asked out of place. Forget it. If you don't want to tell me, I'll slowly find it myself. Seeing that the old fisherman didn't respond, Lin Ray turned around and prepared to head to other places. But when Lin Ray took his first step, he couldn't move at all. Chapter 130. What's going on? This sudden development caught Linley somewhat unprepared. He hurriedly used his divine sense to scan the surrounding area, but after doing so, he didn't discover anything. No, with my cultivation base of crossing tribulation, how can I be trapped in this place? Even a master of the Deshang realm can't do it. Moreover, this is the place leading to the ancestral land of the elves, how can there be such a powerful cultivator? Thinking of this key, Lin Ray couldn't help but turn around and look at the old man fishing. For a time, Lin Rei didn't want to admit that the person who trapped him was this old man, but there was no one else here. Senior, I don't know if I have offended you, please forgive me. I really have something to do, so it is inconvenient for me to stay here for a long time. I ask Senior to remove the spell on me. After a long time, the old man was still the same as before, as if he had never heard Lin Rei speak. He didn't make a sound. There was no other way, he didn't speak and he couldn't move, so Lin Rei could only stand in place and wait for the old man to be willing to let him go. Time passed quickly. In this place where there was no day and night, Lin Rei didn't know how much time had passed, but Lin Rei knew that he was not idle during this time. The old man was still fishing as usual, but he didn't catch a fish. Lin Rei was cultivating his spiritual force, hoping to break through to the heaven-level alchemist realm as soon as possible. What the hell is going on? Why can't I break free from this spell? Lin Rei would try to break free from this spell every once in a while, but he still failed as usual. One day, when Lin Rei was closing his eyes, he found that there was some invisible spiritual force wrapped around his body. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei's face showed an excited expression. I know, so that's how it is. I was wondering why I couldn't break free from this spell. It turns out that this is not a spell at all, this is just a kind of transcendental spiritual force. Realizing this, Lin Rei began to use his spiritual force to feel the spiritual force wrapped around his body. Soon, Lin Rei found the mystery from it. Break for me. A roar came out from Lin Rei's mouth. Suddenly, Lin Rei's body changed. His body that was originally fixed began to wake up slowly. First, it was his hands, then his feet, and in the end, Lin Rei's whole body directly recovered. Oh, I didn't expect that this is the ancestral land of the elves. What I didn't expect is that there is so much spiritual force here. After seeing the spiritual force of the elves' ancestral land, Lin Rei began to be careful. If he was not careful, he would end up like before. At this moment, Lin Rei did not want to be fixed again. Senior, since you are not willing to speak, this junior will take his leave first. After Lin Rei broke free, he hurriedly bowed to the old man fishing in front of him and walked deeper. But at this moment, the old man who had been silent in the fishing world woke up. Young man, you are indeed a man above others. In just a few short months, you were able to break through this barrier. This old man really admires you from the bottom of his heart. Suddenly, Lin Rei, who was walking deeper in, heard the voice of the fisherman behind him. In an instant, Lin Rei's body was fixed in place like before. However, the difference was that Lin Rei was stunned in place and looked at the old man with a trace of disbelief. What, senior, are you saying that it has been a few months? Lin Rei heard bad news that he did not want to hear and did not recover for a moment. Look, you just said that you could become a dragon among dragons. How did you end up like this in just a few months? Don't you know that time is just a useless number for us cultivators? Although it is impossible for cultivators to live forever, even if you can't live forever, for someone of your age to be able to cultivate to the next stage of the tribulation, that is enough for you to have lived for tens of thousands of years. The old man sitting by the river saw Lin Rei's big reaction and explained some things about cultivators to Lin Rei with a puzzled expression. Tens of thousands of years, so what if I live for tens of thousands of years? If I don't have someone I love, what's the point? The reason I was able to cultivate to this level was to be able to save my lover who let go of the attack for me. Red Lotus, who originally had 6 months to live, was delayed by me for a few months. It seems that fate really makes fools of people. At this moment, Lin Rei's face showed a self-deprecating expression when he heard the old man's words. His tone was full of pain, unwillingness to accept his fate. I didn't expect you to be such a sentimental person. However, you didn't ask me how many months have passed. What is there to regret? As long as it is not a specific time, everything will still have a chance. What? Lin Rei, whose heart was dead, showed a puzzled expression when he heard the old man's words. He looked at the old man and asked, You mean, I still have a chance to save my lover? That's right. It has only been 2 months since you came in. There is no need to be so pessimistic. However, I am very curious. Why would a human cultivator like you appear in the ancestral land of the elves? Lin Rei scratched his head in embarrassment when he heard the old man's words. He smiled and said, although I am a human, in order to save my lover, I came to the Black Forest to find a way to break through to the heaven stage. Later on, by chance, I accepted the son of the elven queen, Kurun, as my disciple. Later on, due to various reasons, Kurun allowed me to come to the ancestral land of the elves. Speaking of which, I really had no choice. At this point, Lin Rei's face showed a guilty expression, but there was no trace of regret in his eyes. I see. The old man showed a melancholy expression after hearing Lin Rei's story. Young friend, I wonder how the elves are doing now. How many of them still have cultivation? The old man looked at Linley with a desolate look in his eyes. His body was trembling uncontrollably. Seeing this, Linley didn't understand. Those with cultivation are gone, but they're gone now. I've taken Cullen as my disciple, and he's very talented. Add to that Cullen's psychic power, and his cultivation will advance by leaps and bounds. It won't be long before he reaches a level that others can never reach in their lifetime. After Lin Rei answered the old man's question, Lin Rei told him about the elf situation. When he talked about his disciple, Lin Rei showed a trace of gratification. They're gone. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the old man's eyes seemed to have lost their color and darkened. His body also revealed an aura of death, and he seemed to have aged a lot in an instant. Yes. But I promised Kurun that after I save my lover, I will let the elves return to the eyes of the people of the profound sky continent. I also left them a lot of cultivation methods and resources. With their mental strength and aptitude, I believe that it won't be long before they become the nightmare of everyone in the profound sky continent. Really? When Lin Rei said that the elves would return to the world and that they would return to the peak, the old man's eyes, which were like dead ashes, regained their color. Yes, I have already asked Kurun to give them the cultivation methods. Then thank you. Thank you for giving the elves the cultivation methods. Thank you for helping the elves to return to the world. Plop. The old man knelt on the ground and kept kowtowing while muttering Lin Rei's words. Oh, right, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Katarama, the ancestor of the elves. The reason why I am doing this is because I represent the elves to express our sincere gratitude to you. What? When Lin Rei saw the old man kneeling on the ground and was about to help him up, Lin Rei was petrified by the old man's words. After a long time, Lin Rei came back to his senses and asked the ancestor of the elves. You are the ancestor of the elves. Then you have a way to become a heaven-rank alchemist? Plop. At this point, Lin Rei knelt on the ground and begged the old man, Senior, please teach me the way to become a heaven-rank alchemist. Please teach me, please don't do this. Just based on the fact that you brought the elves back to the world, I will teach you the way to become a heaven-rank alchemist no matter what. However, I have one more thing to ask of you. Seeing Lin Rei kneeling, Katarama stepped forward and helped him up. I want you to be the patriarch of the elves and lead the elves to a higher plane. Let the elves return to their roots. I wonder if fellow Daoist can agree to this. Hearing Katarama's words, Lin Rei was stunned. What did he mean by going to a higher plane? What did he mean by returning to their roots? Could it be that the elves weren't originally a part of the profound sky continent? No, Senior, I don't quite understand what you mean. Could it be that you and your race aren't originally from the profound sky continent? After hearing Katarama's next words, Lin Rei was completely stunned. He didn't dare to believe that the elves were a race from a higher plane. That's right. How could the elves be a race from such a low plane? Back then, I was an elf living in the immortal world. My father was the patriarch of the elves at that time, but I was very mischievous at that time. In one of my adventures, I accidentally triggered some mechanism and came here. At that time, there were many people with me who were brought here by my recklessness. However, they were very loyal. Because I was the son of the patriarch, after coming here, they made me the patriarch of the elves and settled here. There were several times when we wanted to rush out of this low plane, but in the end, we discovered that this low plane was actually a sealed planet. From then on, I and the people I brought here lived in peace and continued our descendants. However, the people I brought couldn't withstand the ravages of time and left me one by one. As for me, I could only hide in this starting ground and live on while at death's door. As he spoke, tears flowed out of Katarama's eyes. His eyes were filled with regret. He lamented as he looked towards the depths of the starting ground and bowed deeply. Chapter 131. Alright, Junior will naturally comply with Senior's request. Just based on the fact that you told me how to break through to the heaven stage, I will help you. Moreover, Karen is my disciple, so I will help the elven race even more. After hearing Katalama's words, Linley made up his mind to bring the elven race back to their rightful place. This wasn't only for the sake of his breakthrough, but also for Cullen's sake. Good. Karen being able to worship you as his master is his fortune, the elven race's fortune, and even more so my elven race's fortune. I will remember your evaluation. Senior is too serious. Lin Ray looked at Katalama's appearance, his heart was very anxious, but he couldn't reveal it. Alright, since it's like this, then let's start. But before that, I have to say that I'm not sure if my method will work. But I'm sure that as long as your spiritual force reaches the heaven stage, then breaking through to the alchemist realm will be much easier. As long as I can open your Naiwan palace, then everything will be fine. Alright, then many thanks, Senior. Hearing Katalama's words, Lin Ray's heart was filled with joy. Thinking that he would be able to save Hong Lian, Lin Ray couldn't help but become excited. Alright, don't be too happy yet. My method is a risky one because I'm not sure if I can help you break through. I don't even know how to break through to become a heaven stage alchemist. However, I will pass my mental energy to you. As long as your mental energy is full and your Naiwan palace is opened, I believe that at that time, you will get what you want and successfully break through to become a heaven stage alchemist. What? Hearing Katarama's words, Linley's first reaction was not to worry about whether or not he would be able to break through to become a heaven-grade alchemist. Instead, he was worried about Katarama's dangers. Then, Senior, if you pass your spiritual force to me, will your body? It doesn't matter. I've lived long enough. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been able to meet my old brothers so quickly. Now, I'm about to reunite with them. When Katarama heard Lin Ray's words, he didn't mind and smiled. Then he looked at the depths of the ancestral land alone. His face revealed a longing expression as tears flowed down from his eyes. Senior, seeing Katarama's appearance, Lin Ray's heart ached and he almost cried. Fortunately, Lin Ray controlled himself well. It's nothing. Even if you don't come, I won't be able to live for long. I'm just a body condensed from spiritual energy, so please grant me my wish. As long as you can bring the elves back to where they belong, my death will be worth it. But Lin Ray wanted to say something, but he was stopped by Katarama. Alright, don't be so long-winded. The teleportation will take a long time. If you don't wish for your lover to die, then continue to be long-winded. Lin Ray, who was hesitating, heard Katarama's words and his gaze became firm. That's right. Alright, let's begin. When Lin Ray wasn't paying attention, Katarama arrived before Lin Ray and placed his hands on Lin Ray's chest. In an instant, a dazzling radiance emanated from Katarama's body. Arg! A pained cry escaped from Linley's mouth. His face was contorted in a way that was completely different from his handsome face from before. Focus and don't be distracted. After all, I am the one who passed on the spiritual energy to you. Therefore, during the teleportation process, it is inevitable that you will feel some pain. You will be fine as long as you get through it. Upon sensing Lin Rei's trembling body, Katarama knew that it was his fault for not allowing him to think. Infinite illusory, illusionary in all directions. Spiritual space, open. In an instant, a passage of incantation entered Lin Rei's ears. In an instant, Lin Rei began to comprehend it. Hang in there. You must find the Mud Pill Palace. As long as you can open it, you will be able to break through to the heaven stage. You must hang in there. Katarama reminded Lin Rei once again after seeing his expression. While Lin Rei was breaking through to the next stage, Elder Xiong from the Kunlun sect finally found Lin Rei's hiding place. Soon, he led a group of disciples to the dark forest. Elder Xiong, this black forest used to be a natural formation. Furthermore, we just discovered that within this natural formation, there are over 1,000 formations of different sizes. It's truly difficult to break through such a huge formation. Even if the sect master were to come personally, he might not be able to break through. At this moment, outside the dark forest, a disciple reported to Elder Xiong after investigating the situation outside the dark forest. What? Elder Xiong was shocked when he heard the disciple's report. How is that possible? There are more than 1,000 formations under this natural formation. Not to mention how difficult it is, even a heaven stage formation master wouldn't be able to do it. That's right. I just took a look. It's not just a heaven stage formation master. Conservatively speaking, these formations should be set up by a king stage formation master. Impossible. In the Tianxian continent, there is no one who can break through the heaven stage to reach the king stage. Elder Xiong immediately rejected his guess when he heard his subordinate's report. This was because he didn't believe that there was anyone in the Tianxian continent who could break through to the king stage formation master. Elder, these formations are indeed set up by a formation master who is at least at the king level. When I was outside, I heard that there are elves living in the Black Forest. It wouldn't be strange if there is a formation master above the king level. After all, the elves are born with spiritual power. Breaking through to the king level is not a big deal. Oh. The elves? When Elder Xiong heard his disciple mention the elves, shock appeared on his face. There was also a trace of disbelief in his tone. That's right. It's said that the elves have existed since ancient times. It's said that this race suddenly appeared at that time. No one knows what happened, but later on, the people of the Tianxian continent hunted the elves, causing the elves to hide in the dark forest. I didn't expect the Tianxian continent to give me so many surprises. After learning about the elves' existence, there was an obvious greed in the disciples' eyes that couldn't be easily seen. Quickly gather all the formation masters in the Tianxian continent. We must break this formation as soon as possible. There are important people in here that the sect master wants. You don't need to know anything else. Alright, go do it as soon as possible. With that, Elder Xiong didn't give the disciple in front of him any chance to speak. He then turned around and walked back into the room behind him. Sigh, what a tough life. Seeing that Elder Xiong had left, the disciple sighed and revealed a helpless expression. After grumbling, the disciple turned around and led the others to make arrangements according to Elder Xiong's instructions. When the other elves in the depths of the dark forest noticed this, they immediately panicked. At this moment, in the open space in the depths of the dark forest, Katar was standing there and looking at the crowd with a worried expression. Alright, don't panic about this. There are thousands of formations set up by our ancestors outside the dark forest. There's even a natural formation, so there's no need to panic. Even if all the formation masters in the Tianxian continent were to break it together, it would still take a few months. Therefore, during this period of time, everyone must follow Master Kurun's instructions and cultivate well. Don't waste any time. After comforting the crowd, Kurun walked back to his room. However, when he left, the solemn expression on his face fell into the eyes of the crowd. Alright, don't think too much. We have to believe in the clan leader. Since the clan leader said that it's fine, then it's fine. Everyone, go back. The elder of the elf tribe who stayed behind hurriedly dispersed the crowd and returned to their rooms to cultivate. Lin Rei, who was the cause of all this, was receiving the mental energy transmitted by Katarama. It was a crucial moment. This time I must break open the Mudball Palace. Lin Rei, who was quietly breaking through, didn't know that he and the elves had fallen into a tight encirclement. Dubhe, governing Meridian. Open. With a boom sound, a bright light flashed from the area above Linley's navel. Ha, I finally broke through. After sensing that he had broken through, Linley was very happy. He jumped up excitedly. Katarama's body, which was transmitting his spiritual power to Linley, had already become so dim that Linley could see the scene behind him through his body. You. Seeing Katarama's appearance, Lin Rei quickly calmed down and looked at Katarama with a sad expression. It's fine. Alright, you just broke through the Mudball Palace and haven't officially become a heaven alchemist yet. I will continue to transmit mental energy to you, but you have to properly feel the barrier of the heaven alchemist realm. If you think of it, remember to cut the Gordian knot. You must be quick. Seeing Lin Rei's appearance, Katarama revealed a relieved smile. He came to Lin Rei's side and began to transmit mental energy again. Seeing this, Lin Rei's eyes became moist. Although Lin Rei knew that all this was just a deal, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel sour in his heart. In the next 3 months, under Katarama's guidance, Lin Rei broke through to the Heaven Alchemist realm 2 days ago. However, Katarama didn't wake Lin Rei up. Instead, he transmitted the last of his mental energy to Lin Rei's body and left behind a final sentence. Linley, remember our agreement. You must bring the elven race back to the immortal realm. If my parents are still alive after we reach the immortal realm, you must tell them that if there's a next life, I want to be their son. Chapter 132. Sigh. If the heavens give me another chance, I will never go to that secret realm again, let alone touch that thing. I regret it so much. Katarama looked at the sky above the ancestral land and lamented. His eyes were full of regret. It could be seen that he really regretted his actions. However, everything could no longer be reversed. Slowly, Katarama's spirit force completely disappeared. Woo. In the instant that Katarama disappeared, one agonized cry after another rang out from the depths of Invincible. Their cries were the same as Katarama's, filled with regret and unwillingness. But there was nothing they could do. In the end, they followed Katarama and disappeared as well. Right now, the only person left within the ancestral grounds was Linley, sitting there by himself. Sigh. There's no such thing as regret in this world. However, I will help you fulfill your wishes. I will definitely bring the elves back to the immortal world. Rest in peace. It turned out that Linley had already woken up when Katarama disappeared. However, the reason why he didn't wake up was because he didn't want to see Katarama disappear and not be able to lend a helping hand. Therefore, when Katarama died, the only thing he could help them was to bring the elves to the immortal realm, find Katarama's parents, and reunite them. Phew, Lin Rei heaved a sigh of relief and looked at the place where he had stayed for 5 months. Although he didn't take a close look, he missed this place. After all, this was where he broke through to the heaven rank. The most memorable thing was that someone had sacrificed herself to help him. This kindness was something that he would never forget for the rest of his life. It's time to go back. 5 months have passed. I wonder if Cullen has been slacking off. Lin Rei's eyes revealed a worried expression. He wondered if Cullen's naughty little disciple had been cultivating properly during the 5 months that he was away. Time has changed. Yin and Yang have reversed. Let's go. Lin Rei recited the incantation that Cargill had taught him when he entered. In an instant, Lin Rei's body began to fade out of the ancestral land. When he reappeared, Lin Rei was already at the place where he came from. Phew. I'm finally back. Looking at the familiar room in front of him, Lin Rei knew that he had returned to the dark forest. Jia. At this moment, the door to the room opened, and a dignified child walked in. When he saw Linley, tears welled up in his eyes, and he ran into Linley's arms, sobbing as he said, "I'm sorry. Master, where have you been all these days? I couldn't find you. I asked Mother, but she wouldn't tell me. I thought you didn't want me." Hee hee, how could that be? I'm still waiting to see if your cultivation has improved. Logically speaking, with your cultivation speed, you should have already been consecrated or even fasted by now. After he saw that the person who had come in was the disciple he had been missing. He had been yearning for day and night. Master, you just came back and need to rest. I'll have Mother clean up a room for you. You can rest first. When Cullen heard Linley's words, his expression changed. He had just entered the room, but he couldn't sit still and wanted to leave. A strange expression appeared on his face as he spoke to Linley. "Humph, you brat. I knew that without my supervision, you wouldn't cultivate properly. Come, let me see what your cultivation is now. If I find out that your cultivation hasn't improved at all, humph." Swoosh. Hearing Linley's words, Cullen immediately used up all of his energy in his cultivation base, fleeing as fast as he could. "Humph, want to run? Why don't you think about your master's cultivation and yours? How dare you be so impudent in front of me? Come back here." Lin Rei wasn't in a hurry to stop Cullen. Instead, he waited until Cullen reached the door. Lin Rei waved his hand and sent out a stream of spirit energy. A large hand grabbed Cullen's body and pulled him back. "Don't move. If you move, I can't guarantee what I'll do." When Lin Rei threatened Cullen, who had originally wanted to escape, immediately calmed down. He sat down obediently and didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Lin Rei released his divine sense and scanned Cullen's body. What he saw made him choke with anger. In the past few months, Cullen had only reached the peak of Foundation establishment. Logically speaking, with Cullen's talent, it wouldn't be too much to say that he had reached the fasting realm. But now, you actually. Cough, cough, cough. In an instant, Lin Rei's expression changed. He didn't expect Cullen to not have cultivated for the past few months. He was so angry that he couldn't speak coherently. "Kid, let me tell you. Even if your mother came today, she wouldn't be able to save you. See if I don't beat you until you know how to cultivate alone." As he spoke, Lin Rei used a hand of spirit energy to grab Cullen and put him on his leg. Then he slapped Cullen's butt. "Paw." Lin Rei's hand passed through the artifact and into Cullen's butt. A loud slap sounded out. "Ah. No, master, don't hit me. I won't dare to do it again." "Paw, paw, 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 paw." Suddenly, the sound of Lin Rei's hand hitting Cullen's butt echoed in the room. Cullen wanted to die. At this time, his voice was hoarse from shouting. "Humph, now you know it hurts. Let me tell you, if you slack off again, I won't hit you like this." "Ah, really, master?" Cullen, who was lying on Lin Rei's leg, asked with a smile after hearing Lin Rei's words. "Yes, I won't hit you anymore. I will throw you directly into the Death Mountain Range and let you know what it means to be on the brink of life and death. I will let you know what it means to not cultivate properly. You won't be treated well there. Once you're there, there will be countless monsters to play with you." Lin Rei smiled and said to Cullen, who was lying on his leg. His tone was gentle, but Cullen could hear a trace of ruthlessness in his gentle tone, which made him shudder. No. Don't do that, master. I will cultivate properly in the future and won't slack off anymore. Don't throw me into the Death Mountain Range, okay?" Cullen said to Lin Rei in his usual coquettish manner, but it obviously didn't work this time. "Humph, I'm serious. Even if you cultivate properly, I will still do the same. Not only you, but I will also do the same to your 4 senior brothers and sisters. This is a test for the few of you when you leave the mountain in the future." At this point, Linley picked up Cullen, who was lying on his lap, and said earnestly, "Kid, you have to walk your own path in the future. Master can't always be by your side. Therefore, Master can only rest assured if you have great power." After saying that, Lin Ray didn't say anything else to Cullen. Instead, he stood up and went to his room. Lin Ray locked Cullen in his room to reflect on his mistakes. "Fellow Daoist, aren't you going a bit too far? You're even younger than Cullen. If you do this, won't things backfire?" Just as Lin Ray left the room, Cullen, who had been standing outside and eavesdropping, spoke to Lin Ray with a pained expression. "Hee, so it's Cullen. After all, I have my reasons for doing this. Besides, what's wrong with being young? Aren't I still young? I was able to kill monster beasts in the mountain range when I was 14 years old. I'm almost 17 years old now. Look at my current achievements. They are all due to my hard work. When wasn't I on the verge of life and death? Look, aren't I still fine now?" Lin Ray knew that doing this would make Cullen unhappy, but even if he was unhappy, he would still do it. After all, he was Cullen's master. "What? You're saying that you're only 16 years old? Not even 17 years old yet?" At that moment, Cullen seemed to have heard something unbelievable. His eyes widened and his face was filled with disbelief. "Yes, I'm 16 years old. That's why I can't let Cullen live in a greenhouse. This isn't a good thing for him. For example, my other 4 disciples have all gone out to train. The sooner this happens, the better. That's why I hope that you won't interfere in this matter in the future. This is a form of respect for me and Cullen." Cullen didn't say anything else because even if he said more, it would be pointless if Cullen didn't agree. "And no. I want to apologize for what happened before. I'm not worried about leaving Cullen to you. If Cullen doesn't listen to you in the future, teach him a lesson." Ugh, Cullen thought that Cullen wouldn't agree, but the result was unexpected. He didn't expect Cullen to inform him and he seemed to be very happy. "All right, since you, as his mother, have said so, I have nothing else to worry about. All right, since you've just returned, why don't I find a room for you to rest?" Upon hearing Cullen's words, Lin Ray immediately rejected. However, it wasn't that he wasn't tired. It was just that Red Lotus's death wasn't far away. That was why the most important thing right now was to refine pills for Red Lotus and help her survive. "No buts, I'm not tired. But can you find me an uninhabited cave? I don't want to be disturbed when I'm refining pills, so, oh, all right. I happen to have an uninhabited cave here. Besides, there isn't anyone there, so it's just right for you to refine pills." Cullen led Lin Ray to the back mountain where the elf race resided. Soon, Lin Ray arrived at the cave. Lin Ray sensed an abundance of spiritual energy and the surrounding environment was beautiful beyond compare. It would be great if Red Lotus could wake up here. Chapter 133. Not bad. This place is great. Thank you. If there's anything else, I'll go in first. Remember, don't let anyone enter this place. If I find out that someone is disturbing me while I'm refining pills, I don't care who they are. I'll deal with them using my own methods. Lin Ray's eyes glinted with a cold glint. Needless to say, Cargill knew that if anyone dared to barge in, they would have to pay with their lives. Yes, there's something. When you went to the ancestral land, some people came out of nowhere and invited a lot of array masters from the Tianxian continent after realizing that they couldn't enter. I thought that the 1,000 array masters set up by our ancestors would be fine. But a few days ago, those array masters removed most of the array masters. At this rate, perhaps in another month or two, the 1,000 array masters set up by our ancestors will be completely removed. When that happens, the elf race will be in danger. Upon hearing Lin Ray's words, Cargill quickly recounted what happened a few months ago. In an instant, the atmosphere turned heavy. What? There's actually such a thing? Upon hearing Cargill's words, Lin Rei was taken aback. He was nervous because he was afraid that it was Zhao Pan who injured him back then. Then, do you know the name of their leader? Lin Rei asked Cargill with a solemn expression. Yes, I heard from them that he's called Elder Xiong. Judging from his cultivation, he seems to be in the mid-stage. But I don't know the details. But the people he brought are all in the conjoint body stage. Besides, there are also a few tribulation stage cultivators. Phew, upon hearing Cargill's words, Lin Rei heaved a sigh of relief. The worries in his heart didn't appear. It's fine. You just need to hold on for a month. By then, I will let the elf race leave safely. Thank you so much. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Cargill breathed a sigh of relief, and the grave expression on his face relaxed. Alright, pay close attention to the situation in the dark forest's periphery. Try your best to improve the elves in this 1 month. Also, keep an eye on Cullen and make sure he doesn't waste any more time. He still has 2 years. If he can't achieve the results I want in 2 years, then, yes, I'll deal with them as soon as I get back. Don't worry about Cullen. I'll personally deal with him when I get back. I won't dare to slack off in the slightest. Upon hearing Lin Rei's words, Cargill hurriedly promised Lin Rei. She didn't want Cullen to lose such a master. Alright, you can go back. After saying that, Lin Rei didn't give Lin Rei any chance to speak and walked into the cave. Lin Rei was extremely excited when he thought that he would be able to see Hong Lian, who had been unconscious for a long time. Red Lotus, just you wait. I will revive you as soon as possible. When the time comes, I will bring you and the 9 Heavens Xuanzong sect out of here. When the time comes, I will make you the happiest woman in the world. Lin Rei couldn't help but mutter to himself as he walked. He couldn't stop himself from laughing. Soon, Lin Rei arrived at the cave. After inspecting the structure of the cave, he found a spacious place and took out the 10,000 beasts furnace. Then, he took out the refining materials for the body-shaping pill. Everything is ready except for the east wind. Now, let me see what a heaven-grade medicinal pill is like. After saying that, Lin Rei's illusory spirit blood fire erupted. In an instant, the temperature of the cave gradually rose. In the end, the rocks in the cave seemed to have melted. Hong Lian, wait for me. Soon, we will be reunited. After saying that, Lin Rei's illusory spirit blood fire passed through the 10,000 beasts furnace. After preheating the alchemy furnace, he started refining. First was the bone sculpting grass. Lin Li directly threw the bone sculpting grass into the alchemy furnace. In an instant, the incomparably precious bone sculpting grass turned into ashes. Seeing this scene, Lin Li's heart ached. This bone sculpting grass was exchanged for 1 million spirit stones. Although he did not lack spirit stones, who would worry about having too many spirit stones? This won't do. If this goes on, the 3 bone-shaping grass will be lost in my hands. Without the bone-shaping grass, what will happen to Hong Lian? At this moment, Lin Rei didn't have the same mood as before. At this moment, his heart was incomparably heavy. He originally thought that a heaven-grade alchemist would be the same as before. Refining pills would be a piece of cake for him. But now, it seemed that this wasn't the case. Alas, now I can only fumble around on my own. Thinking of the bone-shaping grass that was destroyed, Lin Rei's heart ached. Now that there were only 2 left, Lin Rei's heart was even more nervous. This won't do. Let's try again. What if it succeeds? Anyway, there's still 1 more. With the mentality of gambling, Lin Li began his journey again. However, the results were not optimistic. Just like before, the bone-molding grass turned into ashes the moment it entered the alchemy furnace and encountered the illusory spirit blood fire. Damn it! What the hell is going on? It's clearly written that this is how to refine it. How can it be? At this moment, Lin Rei couldn't understand. It was clearly refining according to the alchemy recipe, but why couldn't he refine it? Forget it. Anyway, there was still a month's time. Let's try other pills. Unable to come up with an answer, Linley decided to try using other pills. The result was, Lin Rei began his alchemy journey again. However, this time, he didn't refine the body-shaping pill. Instead, he chose a heaven-grade pill called the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill. The Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill is a pill that can be used by Great Ascension Realm and Crossing Tribulation Realm cultivators. The ordinary Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill can only help Crossing Tribulation Realm cultivators, but the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill is different. It has no side effects and can be used indefinitely to increase a cultivator's strength. However, because the ingredients for the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill are too expensive, ordinary sects can't afford it. Heavenly Spirit Grass, Heavenly Water, Magic Cloud Mushroom, Lin Rei began to refine the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill according to the recipe. However, everything was so smooth that there was nothing wrong with it. After a few hours, Lin Rei didn't find anything wrong at all. The pill is done. After 4 hours, the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill was completed. Lin Rei had already prepared it in a pill bottle. Damn it, are you trying to play me to death? You didn't let me refine the body-shaping pill, but you let me refine the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill. Seeing that the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill was successfully refined, Lin Rei sat on the ground with a gloomy face. He thought about the refining process of the body-shaping pill and wondered what went wrong. What exactly went wrong? Everything is clearly refined according to the recipe, but why can't I refine it? Lin Rei was very distressed. He didn't understand why. He began to wonder if there was a mistake in the recipe, or if it was his own fault. Bone-shaping grass, bone-shaping grass. This bone-shaping grass is just a young spirit grass. Why did I encounter? Suddenly, Lin Rei seemed to have thought of something. He hurried to the side of the pill furnace and began refining the body-shaping pill for the 3rd time, which was also the last body-shaping grass. This time, I have to succeed, or else, at this point, Lin Rei didn't dare to continue. He directly summoned the illusory spirit blood fire, wrapped the bone-shaping grass and water spirit flower, and threw them into the furnace. But this time, it was different. This time, the same phenomenon as before didn't occur. Ha ha ha, as expected, as expected. The bone-shaping grass can't be refined by itself. It must be combined with a yang spirit grass in order to refine it. Seeing that the spiritual grass in the furnace was slowly being refined, Linley's heart was filled with excitement. Great, this is great. Although he was excited, Lin Rei didn't get carried away. He adjusted his state of mind and began to refine the other spirit grass. Condensing soul dew, heavenly white angelica, slowly, Lin Rei's refinement was completed. Now, he began to refine the body-shaping pill. At the same time, this was also the most crucial step. If this step was not successful, then the body-shaping pill would be completely wasted. Heavenly Sun fusion, yin and yang rotation, smelt. Boom! All the refined essences were thrown into the furnace by Lin Rei. In an instant, they were wrapped by the illusory spirit blood fire. Huff, huff, refining pills is really not an easy job. It's tiring and laborious. In the future, I'll just use the system's alchemy room to refine pills. At this time, Lin Rei truly experienced the hardships of refining pills. If it was before, Lin Rei would think that refining pills was just a game. But now, Lin Rei's attitude towards refining pills had completely changed. The process of refining pills lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. If it was before, it wouldn't take so long. Ha! Today, 3 days from now, a smile appeared on Linley's face. His face, which had been brimming with energy, instantly became weak. Huff, success depends on this. Come. Pills are done. Lin Rei shouted loudly. It could be seen that Lin Rei used all the strength in his body. Bang! The lid of the treasured demonic beast cauldron was opened by Linley with all his might, and 3 glittering golden pills flew out from the cauldron. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The sound of breaking air was heard. They directly arrived in front of Lin Rei and stopped in midair. Finally, the refining is successful. I just don't know how effective it is. Looking at the pills in front of him, Lin Rei smiled with a tired face. Putting away the pills, Lin Rei came to a place where people could be placed. He directly moved Hong Lian out of the system space. Hong Lian, it's been 3 years. 3 years ago, you blocked a fatal attack for me. As a result, you were in a coma for 3 years. In these 3 years, I suffered every moment. Every time I thought about how you were injured because of me, I would feel extreme pain. Sometimes, I didn't even dare to look at you. I could only let the system keep you alive. Chapter 134. Looking at Red Lotus, who was lying on the rock, Lin Rei felt as if his heart was being twisted by a knife. Breathing became difficult, especially when he saw Red Lotus' half-dead state. Lin Rei felt as if the one lying there was him and not Red Lotus. Looking at Red Lotus's pale face, Lin Rei's tears immediately gushed out. Red Lotus, just you wait. We will be reunited soon. Looking at Red Lotus, who was lying there, Linley didn't hesitate at all. He immediately fed Red Lotus a body-sculpting pill. Instantly, as soon as the pill entered her mouth, it transformed into a stream of pure and powerful energy that cleansed Red Lotus' body. Linley could sense that Red Lotus' life force was slowly returning to her. While Red Lotus was being cleansed by the body-shaping elixir, Lin Rei did not know that in the west of the central continent, there was an existence that could dominate the entire Tianxian continent. In the ancestral hall of the Red Lotus Empire's royal family, a soul lamp that had been extinguished for hundreds of thousands of years suddenly lit up again at this moment. The old man who had been guarding this place was so shocked that he almost died. How? How could this be? Red Lotus. Red Lotus Ancestor. Red Lotus Ancestor's soul lamp has lit up. Originally, guarding the ancestral hall was a very good job. All he had to do was to clean things here, and there was nothing important to do. The old man was very willing to do such a thing. But today, when he had nothing to do, he was sitting on the mattress and looking at the soul lamps of his ancestors who had died tens or hundreds of thousands of years ago. However, when the old man was bored, a soul lamp placed at the top of the ancestral hall that had been extinguished for tens or hundreds of thousands of years suddenly lit up again. No matter who saw this scene, they would have the same expression. Their eyes widened in disbelief. No, I must let the Emperor know about this. The revival of Red Lotus Ancestor is a miracle in the Red Lotus Empire, or even in the Tianxian continent. It is also a blessing for the Hong clan. The old man didn't believe it at first, so he went to check the genealogy of the Hong clan. He even looked at the soul lamp that was placed at the highest position. It was verified that the soul lamp had indeed disappeared over 100,000 years ago. It hadn't broken through the limits of Tendo, and had disappeared in the passage of time. Thinking of this, the old man was so excited that he couldn't help but release his peak-crossing calamity stage cultivation. He shouted to the sky, all the people of the Red Lotus Empire, including the Emperor, and all the cultivators who came to the Red Lotus Empire for sightseeing, listen up. The founder of the Red Lotus Empire, Ancestor Red Lotus, has been revived. Those who tried to harm the Red Lotus Empire after Ancestor Red Lotus' death, just you wait. Just wait for my Red Lotus Empire's revenge. Boom, 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 boom. In an instant, as soon as the old man's words were heard, several people rushed out from several mountain ranges in the Red Lotus Empire and arrived at the ancestral hall of the Red Lotus Empire. Even the Emperor of the Red Lotus Empire came here without any hesitation after hearing the news. How is this possible? Ancestor Red Lotus of the Red Lotus Empire has been dead for more than 100,000 years. How could she be revived? Even if she was revived, her body would have long rotted away. How is this possible? That's right. I'm afraid that someone in the Red Lotus Empire is joking. In an instant, after the news of Ancestor Red Lotus resurrection spread, everyone began to discuss the matter of her death. They didn't believe that a person who had been dead for more than 100,000 years could be revived. However, even if some people didn't believe it, there were still some who believed it. After hearing that the Red Lotus Empress had been revived, all the troops stationed in the Red Lotus Empire rushed back to their own forces. There was no exception to the news, regardless of whether it was true or not. At this moment, in the ancestral hall of the Red Lotus Empire, it was the most spectacular scene in history. Ancestor, what's going on? When I was in seclusion, I suddenly heard that the Red Lotus Empire's Empress had been revived. Is this true? At this moment, a relatively young middle-aged man asked respectfully to an old man. How would I know? My situation is similar to yours. Don't panic. There will be more Ancestor coming later. When the time comes, you must be careful with your words. They are existences that are older than the Ancestor. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a sound of something breaking through the air. In an instant, they arrived at the ancestral hall. It was an old man with a kind face. However, the majesty of his body couldn't be underestimated. Red Collar, what's going on? Why did I hear that Ancestor Red Lotus had been revived when I was in seclusion? Is this true? The old man who arrived asked the old man who came before him. His tone was like that of an elder asking a descendant. Ancestor, I just found out about this matter. I don't know much, about the same as you. However, there are usually people guarding the ancestral hall. Why don't we go in together and ask? After hearing the words of the old man who had just arrived, the old man called Red Collar hurriedly lowered his waist and said to the old man. Ziyu, quickly come and greet the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. He is the 5th generation Emperor of the Red Lotus Empire. He has cultivated for more than 40,000 years and is already the oldest ancestor of the Red Lotus Empire. Red Collar hurriedly called the junior who had spoken to him before forward to greet the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. Oh, Junior Hong Ziyu greets the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. I am the 12th generation Emperor of the Red Lotus Empire. After hearing Red Collar's words, Hong Ziyu hurriedly bowed to the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. Her eyes were filled with respect and admiration. You are very good. You have already cultivated to the Mahayana realm. Not bad. Continue in the future. I hope that one day you can break through to an unexpected level. After saying that, Hong Tianling directly lifted her foot and walked into the ancestral hall. Seeing this scene, Red Collar brought Ziyu in and hurriedly followed behind Hong Tianling, not daring to leave for a moment. What's going on? Did you say that the Red Lotus Ancestor has been resurrected? You, a guard of the ancestral hall, don't know your limits. Saying such disgraceful words, you are really a descendant of the Hong family. At this moment, Hong Tianling had just walked in. After seeing the guard of the ancestral hall, she reprimanded him. I wonder who you are. The old man guarding the ancestral hall did not dare to be presumptuous when he saw the person who had come in to reprimand him. Instead, he asked respectfully. Are you blind? Can't you see that this is the 5th generation Emperor of the Red Lotus Empire? At this moment, a young man wearing a dragon robe and a dragon crown came to Hong Tianling's side and said to the old man guarding the ancestral hall. Junior, the 16th generation Emperor, Hong Yundao, greets the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. I didn't know that the Heaven Spirit Ancestor had arrived. It is a dereliction of duty as a descendant. Please forgive me, Ancestor. The Emperor who had walked in hurriedly knelt on the ground to Hong Tianling and Red Collar and performed the etiquette that a junior should perform. Heaven. Heaven Spirit Ancestor, I didn't know it was you. Please forgive me. Let's talk about this later. Hong Yundao, get up first. I came here to ask about the resurrection of the Red Lotus Ancestor. Also, Why did you announce to the outside world that the Red Lotus Empire would take revenge on those who harmed the Red Lotus Empire after the death of the Red Lotus Empress? Who gave you the strength to do so? Hong Tianling hurriedly asked all the questions in his heart. At this moment, everyone present broke out in cold sweat. It's me. I said it. Today, when I was wiping the soul lamp, which had been extinguished for hundreds of thousands of years, was reignited. After repeated verification, I confirmed that it was indeed Ancestor Red Lotus Soul Lamp. That's why I said that. Hearing Hong Tianling's words, the old man hurriedly told her everything he knew in full detail. What? You said that the soul lamp of the Red Lotus Ancestor was reignited? Whoosh! Without waiting for the reply of the old man guarding the ancestral hall, Hong Tianling flashed into the inner part of the ancestral hall where the soul lamps were placed. At a glance, he saw the brightly lit soul lamp placed at the highest point in the ancestral hall. At once, he knelt on the ground and cried. Red Lotus Ancestor, you really came back to life? You really came back to life? Ha ha ha, a burst of laughter came from the inner part of the ancestral hall. Immediately, everyone present knew what was going on. Everyone's eyes were blazing as they looked at the ancestral hall. They were very excited. Hong Yundao, I order you to send out the Red Lotus Empire's Death Guards and Shadow Guards, as well as the 18 Divine Flame Soldiers guarding the mausoleum. Ask them to go out and search for the Red Lotus Ancestor. No matter who it is, if anyone dares to stop them, there is only one word: kill them until they find the Red Lotus Ancestor. Hong Tianling, who was kneeling on the ground, finally said these words that were filled with murderous intent. At this moment, Hong Tianling seemed to have changed. She seemed to have a short lifespan, but suddenly, she became energetic as if she was young again. Yes, Junior Hong Yundao, I will follow the orders of the Red Lotus Ancestor. I will send out the most elite troops of the Red Lotus Empire to search for the Red Lotus Ancestor. After hearing Hong Tianling's words, Hong Yundao immediately turned around and walked out. Hong Ling, Hong Ziyu, and the old man guarding the ancestral hall were all kneeling on the ground and worshipping the Red Lotus Emperor's soul lamp silently. The Red Lotus Empire also took action quickly. According to Hong Tianling's orders, they sent out their elite troops to search for the resurrected Red Lotus Ancestor. After some of the people guarding the Red Lotus Empire knew about this, they once again reported it to the Sect. In an instant, the central continent and other regions, no matter if it was the sects, families, or other empires, after receiving this news, they all sent out their men to search for the resurrected Red Lotus Ancestor. They were very afraid. They did not want the Red Lotus Ancestor to come back alive. If that was the case, they would be in trouble and the entire Tianxian continent would be reshuffled. Chapter 135. As for the instigator of all of this, Linli and Red Lotus, the one being sought, were currently within a cave in the back mountains of the Black Forest. Red Lotus, you will wake up soon. After seeing Red Lotus digesting the body-shaping pill, he went behind Red Lotus, placed his hand on Red Lotus' back, and began to transfer spiritual power into Red Lotus' body. As for Red Lotus, after eating the body-sculpting pill, her originally pale and bloodless face slowly regained its color. Her level of power also recovered, or perhaps even more. In addition, her power was slowly returning as well. Linli knew that this was the power that Red Lotus already had after being summoned by him. Red Lotus, you will be fine soon. I will wait for you here. His spiritual power was continuously transferred to Red Lotus' body, but Red Lotus was like a bottomless pit, devouring Lin Rei's spiritual power. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei was surprised. Even a cultivator in the lower stage of the Mahayana realm did not have as much spiritual power as him, but Red Lotus could absorb all of it. No, if this goes on, I will be sucked dry. After feeling that the spiritual power in his body had disappeared, Red Lotus did not stop and continued to absorb. At this time, what was absorbing Lin Rei was not his spiritual power, but his blood essence. After feeling this scene, Lin Rei panicked. Blood essence was the life of a cultivator. If there was no blood essence, it meant that the cultivator would die. No. No, Red Lotus, you can't. But at this moment, Linley had been sucked dry by the Red Lotus. He didn't even have the strength to speak and finally fainted. The moment Linley fell, the Devour Heavenly method activated. The spirit chi absorbed by the Devour Heavenly method replenished the unconscious Linley. The Red Lotus gave up on the blood essence and began to absorb Linley's spirit chi again. Every time Lin Rei recovered his spiritual power, it would be absorbed by Red Lotus. In this way, Lin Rei's efforts were continuously provided to Red Lotus. After 3 days, Red Lotus finally stopped absorbing Lin Rei's spiritual power, but Lin Rei was still in a coma. Red Lotus, who was sitting in the same place, slowly opened her eyes. Looking at the unfamiliar scene in front of her, Red Lotus automatically released all of her cultivation. Suddenly, a power that surpassed the peak of the Mahayana realm was released, and it instantly spread throughout the Black Forest. Even Elder Xiong, who was in the Black Forest, felt it. How is it possible? How can there be an Earth Immortal Realm cultivator here? Didn't they say that this sealed planet could not break through to the Earth Immortal Realm? At this time, Elder Xiong felt the inexplicable aura from the Black Forest and made a judgment. He was immediately shocked. No, this matter must be reported to Senior Brother Sect Master. An Earth Immortal Realm cultivator is not something that I can deal with now. Elder Xiong got up and flew quickly in the direction of Kunlun Sect. At this time, the elf race in the Black Forest also felt it. What's going on? Lin Rei can't have such a powerful cultivation. Is he sleeping? After sensing this aura, Cargill turned to look at Linley's cave. A look of surprise appeared on his face, and his eyes were filled with puzzlement. Red Lotus, who caused all of this, was also very surprised, or perhaps confused, because where was she at this time? What's going on? Didn't I die? Why did I come back to life? Is he my descendant? Red Lotus said as she stood up and looked at the layout of the cave. A trace of disdain flashed in her eyes. Why am I in a place like this? And who is this child? Red Lotus looked at the cave with disgust. However, when she saw Lin Rei, her eyes were filled with confusion and she muttered to herself. I don't feel any blood connection at all. This child is not my descendant. Red Lotus said as she walked out of the cave. Phew, I haven't felt such sunlight for a long time. It's great. I wonder how the Red Lotus Empire that I founded is doing now. At this moment, Red Lotus walked out and looked at the sun hanging in the sky. She suddenly felt melancholy. She thought of the Red Lotus Empire that she founded and a trace of sadness appeared in her eyes. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. 3 days passed very quickly. During these 3 days, Linley had already recovered to his original state thanks to the automatic activation of the True Primal Chaos Mantra and the Devouring Heaven technique. Little guy, wake up. At this moment, Red Lotus sat beside Lin Rei and transferred a stream of spiritual energy into Lin Rei's body. Instantly, Lin Rei, who was in a coma, woke up. Arg! Lin Rei let out a soft groan. Slowly, Lin Rei opened his eyes. Red Lotus, when he woke up, the first thing he did was to look for Red Lotus. His eyes were filled with anxiety. After getting up and seeing Red Lotus sitting beside him, Lin Rei heaved a sigh of relief. But when he looked into Red Lotus' eyes, Lin Rei realized that something was amiss. Little guy. Is the name of the Emperor something that you can casually call out? Don't you know who I am? At this moment, Red Lotus, who was sitting beside Lin Rei, heard Lin Rei calling out her name. The smile on her face disappeared and was replaced by a condescending look. Her mouth was filled with anger. Ugh. Red Lotus, what's wrong with you? Don't you recognize me? I'm Lin Rei. I'm the Lin Ray that you risked your life to protect. At this moment, Lin Ray's heart was extremely uncomfortable. Although Lin Ray realized that something was amiss, Lin Ray was still unwilling to believe it. Humph, little guy. There is a limit to a person's tolerance. I can accept it once or twice, but if you say it a third time, don't blame the Emperor for being rude to you. Red Lotus was infuriated to see this young man calling out her name for no reason. But the feeling of anger quickly disappeared. This phenomenon left Red Lotus puzzled for a moment. Red. Okay, Senior. Why are you here? Do you still remember? Hearing Red Lotus words, Lin Ray knew that Red Lotus memories of her previous life had completely awakened. And after sensing Red Lotus aura, he knew that he was no match for her. This great emperor doesn't know. However, when this great emperor woke up, this great emperor was already here. However, this great emperor is unable to recall anything. This great emperor only knows that this great emperor had already died. However, I do not know why this great emperor has suddenly revived. Speaking of this, Red Lotus eyes revealed a pained expression. Lin Ray was heartbroken to see this scene, but he couldn't go forward to comfort her. I know that you used to be my follower. Later on, we fell in love and were chased by our enemies. Because the enemy was too strong, we couldn't win in the end. When we cursed and wanted to kill me, you rushed forward and were injured by the enemy. You were in a coma for 3 years. Today is exactly 3 years. But at the same time, there are conditions to save you. Conditions? What conditions? After hearing Lin Ray's words, Red Lotus felt a sour feeling in her heart. But after hearing Lin Ray's conditions, she couldn't help but ask. To save you, you must have the body-shaping pill. It's a kind of heaven-grade pill. At that time, I didn't know how to refine pills at all, let alone an alchemist. The second condition is to reach the nascent soul realm. Only when both conditions are met can I save you. In order to make up for my mistakes, I desperately increased my cultivation and alchemist level. Fortunately, after 3 years of continuous tempering and opportunity, I finally refined the body-shaping pill today and saved you. At this point, Linley's eyes dimmed, and a hint of sadness could be seen in them. What? You said that in 3 years, you grew from a person who didn't know anything to a cultivator in the lower stage of the tribulation stage and even became a heaven-grade alchemist? Red Lotus showed a look of disbelief. Her eyes were filled with surprise. But the person who told me how to save you said that if I saved you, you might regain your memories and cultivation base, but you wouldn't forget about me. But, why? Why is it like this? You're awake, but with my Red Lotus, where did he go? As he spoke, Linley began to roar at Red Lotus in agitation. His eyes were filled with sorrow, and his face was filled with pain and savagery. It was a sight that would terrify anyone who saw it. Nonsense. I'm the dignified founder of the Red Lotus Empire. How could I become your follower? What's more, it's impossible for you to grow to this extent in 3 years. Let alone cultivation, even if it's possible, it's impossible for you to become a heaven-grade alchemist. After hearing Lin Ray's words, Red Lotus was very moved. But she still didn't believe Lin Ray's words. After all, she was already dead at that time. Red Lotus, I know you've recovered your memories, but I still want to fight for it. Back then, you were hurt because of me. That's enough. How could the Emperor like an ant like you? Not to mention that you're in the lower stage of the Tribulation Transcendent stage, so what if you're in the peak of the Mahayana stage? You'll definitely be defeated by me. So, don't talk about love with the Emperor because you're not worthy at all. Red Lotus interrupted Lin Ray's next words and broke Lin Ray's fantasy. She said to Lin Ray in a mocking tone. But I don't regret it. Since you're no longer the Red Lotus I know, then let's not meet again. You saved me when you lost your memories, and I wasted 3 years to bring you back to life. But I still owe you. I promise you one thing. When I leave, I'll come back and take you away from this sealed planet." After saying that, Lin Rei stood up and walked out like a walking corpse. His eyes were filled with sorrow and tears flowed down uncontrollably. Chapter 136. Little dragon, what you said back then was indeed a lie. However, this is also good. If you don't remember me, then so be it. Now that things have come to this, there is nothing left to worry about. Lin Rei muttered to himself as he walked out of the cave. His eyes were empty and lifeless. Looking up at the sky, Lin Rei felt as if he had lost something in his heart. In the cold night wind, Lin Rei stood in the cold in his thin clothes, allowing the cold wind to blow against him. His silver white hair was very dazzling. Why am I so sad? At this moment, seeing Lin Rei walking out as if he had lost his soul, Red Lotus' heart clenched tightly. She had never experienced such a feeling before. Could it be that I have really lost my memory and something happened between me and this child? After feeling this, Red Lotus recalled what Lin Rei had said before. For a moment, she was puzzled. However, no matter how she thought about it, she still could not remember what had happened. In the end, she simply chose to forget about it. Just as Red Lotus and Linli were at a loss, Elder Xiong, who had left, returned with a person in tow. This person had a dignified aura about him, causing others to feel a sense of pressure. "Junior brother, is this the place where you said there was an Earth Immortal Realm cultivator?" At this moment, the person who was brought back by Elder Xiong looked at the black forest in front of him with eyes full of disbelief. "Senior brother Sect leader, there is absolutely no mistake." At that time, the aura was very strong. Even you did not have such an aura. Moreover, I could feel that it was an aura that had just awakened. However, what I don't understand is how someone could break through to the Earth Immortal Realm on this sealed planet. This does not make sense. The sect leader that Elder Xiong referred to was Zhao Pan of the Kunlun sect and also Lin Rei's greatest enemy. Well, this is also what I'm puzzled about. When the revered one sent us here, he didn't have the ability to let us out. He also observed that on this planet, at most, one could cultivate to the peak of the Mahayana realm. It was impossible to break through until the end of one's life. Therefore, after hearing your report, I was also very surprised. That's right. Soon, all of these formations will be broken. Then, we'll be able to unravel all the secrets. Elder Xiong looked at the progress of the array formation and turned to Zhao Pan. I hope so. I hope it's not an enemy. Otherwise. Hearing his junior brother's words, Zhao Pan's expression turned solemn as he stared at the black forest. Now, it was not just Lin Rei and Zhao Pan. Once the news of the resurrection of Red Lotus Empress in the Red Lotus Empire spread, all the cultivators in the Tianxian continent were mobilized to search for the revived Red Lotus. The world was in chaos and the people were in dire straits. Some cultivators had even attacked mortals in order to find Red Lotus. As for the culprit behind all of this, Red Lotus, when she thought of the conditions Linli had agreed to, she was stunned. Bring me out of this sealed planet? Could it be? At this thought, Red Lotus couldn't remain calm anymore. Her originally cold expression turned blazing. She gazed at Lin Rei, who was at the entrance of the cave, and arrived at Lin Rei's side in a single step. She grabbed Lin Rei's arm and said excitedly, You can really bring me out of this planet? You're not lying to me?" At that moment, Red Lotus was like a young lady who wanted to get an answer. The eager gaze in her eyes made one have the urge to go up and confide in her. "That's right. This is what I promised you, and it's also what I owe you. This is the final compensation. I don't want to say anything else. If you don't want to, I'll use other methods to compensate you. Cultivation methods, pills, formations, martial skills, whatever you want, I'll give you. However, after this matter, we'll completely break up, and we won't have any more interactions in the future. Looking at Red Lotus, who was grabbing his arm, Lin Rei said everything he wanted to say. Then, he slapped Red Lotus' hand away, turned around, and walked toward the elven tribe. Red Lotus, who was in a daze, was in disbelief. Can we really leave? Red Lotus was very excited. When she was alive, she had fantasized many times about being able to leave this planet that restricted her, but until her death, she couldn't do it. She didn't expect to be promised by a teenager that he would bring her out of this planet before he left. How big of a piece of news was this? After leaving, Lin Rei adjusted his state of mind and returned to the elven tribe. Because he wanted to save Red Lotus, he didn't pass on Katarama's order. Ah. Master, you're finally out of seclusion. I've been cultivating very hard these days. Look, I'm already in the next phase of the consecration. As soon as Lin Rei returned to the elven tribe, he heard Cullen's cheers. Gradually, Cullen appeared and hung on Lin Rei's body, showing off. Hearing Cullen's words, Lin Rei let go of all the happy things and quickly released his divine sense to check Cullen's cultivation. When he saw Cullen's cultivation, Lin Rei revealed a gratified smile. That's right. Only when you're strong can you have the right to be arrogant and conceited. That's why cultivation is very important. If you can continue to cultivate like this, Master can promise you one thing. Anything, including killing people. Linley had been smiling, but when he spoke of killing people, his smile disappeared. In its place was a cold and emotionless look. SSS. After seeing this side of his master, Cullen sucked in a breath and shrunk his neck, revealing a frightened expression. What's wrong? Scared already? I haven't let you see me killing people yet, so from now on, you have to start training to kill people. Otherwise, you won't be so timid and afraid when you kill people in the future. Lin Rei smiled and told Cullen a few things he had to do to cultivate. Then he carried Cullen towards Cullen's room. Along the way, Lin Rei had Cullen tell him all the things he didn't know. Then he cleared Cullen's doubts and arrived in front of Cullen's room. Knock, knock, knock. Lin Rei knocked on Cullen's door a few times. Cullen's voice was heard, and it was very gentle. Come in. Hearing Cullen's words, Lin Rei opened the door and carried Cullen into the room. Then he sat down. Cullen obediently jumped down from Lin Rei's body and intimately leaned against Cullen's chest. Fellow Taoist Lin Rei, I didn't expect that you would come out of seclusion today. If I had known earlier, I would have informed my elf race to welcome you. When Cullen saw that the person who came in was Lin Rei, he had a pleasantly surprised expression and said to Lin Rei. It's nothing, I won't say anything else. Presumably, you also know that I have already become a heaven stage alchemist. But the reason I was able to break through this time was entirely due to Katalama's help. If it wasn't for him, I reckon that I wouldn't have made such great progress. Lin Rei told Cullen the key to his breakthrough. For a moment, Cullen's eyes were filled with sadness. What? You mean, my elf race's ancestor, Katalama? Could it be that he's still alive? When Cullen heard the name Katalama, he immediately thought of the elf race's ancestor. For a moment, many questions came out of Cullen's mouth. You're really something. Why would I send you one out of so many questions? Seeing how excited Cargill was, Linley joked. I am sorry, it's just that after I heard the news about my ancestor, I asked in a moment of desperation. I hope that fellow Taoist doesn't mind and can answer my questions one by one. Okay. Hearing Cullen's words, Lin Rei told him about the elf race's ancestral land. I have indeed met your ancestor. Furthermore, the reason why I was able to break through this time was entirely due to your ancestor's contribution. However, in order for me to break through, your ancestor sacrificed himself for me. When Lin Rei said this, he recalled Katalama's last words before he disappeared. For a moment, a sorrowful expression appeared on his face. What? You're saying that ancestor Katalama I is already dead? Hearing Lin Rei's words, Cullen revealed a sorrowful expression and asked. That's right, your ancestor did it for me. However, before he died, he told me a secret related to your elf race. He even made me promise that I would lead the elf race to complete it. What? Our ancestor made you lead us to complete the secret? What secret? Why didn't I know that our elf race had such a secret? After hearing Lin Rei's words, Cullen, who was listening attentively, couldn't suppress his curiosity and interrupted Lin Rei's words. I heard from your ancestor, Katalama, that your ancestor didn't originally live in the profound sky continent. Instead, he came from the elf race in the immortal world. Besides, your ancestor Katalama was the eldest son of the elf race's patriarch in the immortal world, which is the same as Cullen. However, Katalama was a little too arrogant when he was young and accidentally triggered a mechanism in a secret trial. For some unknown reason, he was teleported here. Along with Katalama, there were many other elf race ancestors. Later on, due to the seal, I announced that their lifespan had reached its limit and they died. However, they didn't truly die as their mental strength was overly powerful, which was why they all lived in the elf race's ancestral land. In the end, only your ancestor, Katalama, condensed his mental strength into a human body and met me in the end. After Lin Rei finished his words, the elf race fell into silence. When he turned to Cullen, Lin Rei was stunned. At that moment, Cullen knelt before Lin Rei. What are you doing? Get up. No matter what, you're still Cullen's mother. How could I possibly accept your kowtow? Lin Rei said and stepped forward to stop her. But as soon as Lin Rei's hand touched her, she stopped him. No. Fellow Taoist Linley, don't try to dissuade me. Since it was my ancestor who allowed you to lead us, then you are the leader of our elven race. It is natural for us to kneel before you. Thus, please don't stop me. Seeing the resolute look on Cargill's face, Linley knew that even if he tried to stop her, she would still kneel. Linley hurriedly accepted Cargill's offer of the position of patriarch, and then Cargill stood up. All right, I accept the position of the elf race's patriarch. Now, I command you as the elf race's patriarch to get up. Yes. After hearing Lin Rei's command as the elf race's patriarch, Cullen stood up obediently and asked doubtfully. Patriarch, since our ancestor made you lead us, did he say what we should do? You're pretty smart. Hearing Cargill's words, Linley told Cargill about his promise to Cargill. I promised your ancestor that I would take you away from this sealed planet, and then lead you to the immortal realm in search of your race, and allow you to return to your ancestral home. Really? After hearing Lin Rei say that he would lead the elf race to the immortal world to acknowledge their ancestors, Cullen's face lit up with excitement and yearning. Yes, that's right. I promised your ancestor. Moreover, your ancestor sacrificed his life in exchange for this. Even if that wasn't the case, just the fact that Cullen is my disciple means that I would have done the same. Lin Rei looked at Cullen and Cullen, not knowing what to say. When Cullen heard this, an excited smile appeared on Cullen's face. At the same time, he felt proud that his son was able to recognize this master. All right, after the matters outside are settled, you will secretly head west to a city called Royal Pill City. Once there, you will find a place called Nine Heavens Trading Company. Then, you will tell the boss of the trading company your identity and pass on my message. After you are done, there will naturally be people who will arrange your accommodations. However, once you are there, you will have to cultivate well. There are good resources, good medicinal pills, and even better cultivation methods and martial skills for you. I hope that when you leave this planet, each and every one of you will be able to reach the level I want you to reach. As for your makeup, when you leave, I will refine it and send it to you. As long as you eat it, no one will be able to recognize your identity, not even the most powerful cultivator on this planet. After hearing Lin Rei's arrangements, Cullen nodded obediently. However, Cullen wasn't willing. He had a bitter expression on his face as he lost in front of Lin Rei. It was as if he was saying that he wasn't happy. Master, if you leave, then what about me? Can I go with you? Chapter 137. No, I still have things to do. When you return to the profound sect with Karger, go and find your senior sisters and brothers. They know what to do. When the time comes, you just have to follow them. Lin Rei smiled helplessly. Originally, Lin Rei wanted to bring Cullen along, but when he thought of his promise to Ecliptic Sage, Lin Rei changed his original plan. Oh, hearing Lin Rei's words, Cullen showed a disappointed expression, but he still agreed to Lin Rei's arrangement. Hee, don't be unhappy. When you reach the sect, there will be a group of people who will play with you. Moreover, when the time comes, your senior sister will teach you 2 different martial techniques and footwork. When the time comes, when you have mastered them, I will go back to see you. On the way, I will bring you some delicious food and fun things. What do you think? Okay. Then master, don't go back on your words. Once I've mastered the martial skill that senior sister taught me, will you come back and bring me something? When Cullen heard Lin Rei's words, his unhappy expression instantly changed. When Lin Rei saw this scene, he was happy and a smile appeared on his face. Okay, let's not talk about this now. The enemy is still outside, so it's not time to mess around. In a while, you will follow your mother and don't go anywhere. Then, gather all the elves. When everything is calm, I will have people bring you to Royal Pill City. Lin Rei didn't say anything else and directly walked out of the door. On the way, Lin Rei's heart was filled with mixed feelings. He didn't want to see Red Lotus, but there was a need for more powerful cultivators outside. Therefore, even if he didn't want to, for the sake of the elven race, Lin Rei could only abandon the meeting and ask Red Lotus for help. Soon, Lin Rei arrived in front of the cave. When he was in the distance, Lin Rei saw Red Lotus standing at the entrance. She was wearing a red robe and her hair was draped over her shoulders. Her eyes were hazy as she looked at the sky, as if she was thinking about something. Who? Suddenly, Red Lotus, who was looking up at the sky, sensed someone approaching. In an instant, she released her killing intent and pressure. With a boom, Lin Rei, who was originally walking, wanted to release his cultivation to block Hong Lian's pressure. However, Lin Rei did not expect Hong Lian's cultivation to be so strong. Her killing intent and pressure instantly shattered Lin Rei's defense, directly freezing him in place. With a pu sound, Linli spat out a mouthful of blood. In an instant, Linli, who had just recovered a little, felt the pressure of the Red Lotus pressing down on his body. Linli's aura began to wither. Don't be agitated, it's me. Lin Rei knew that this was a cultivator's vigilance. Lin Rei did not blame her. In order to avoid unnecessary misunderstandings, Lin Rei hurriedly saw her. Don't you know that you can easily die if you approach so quietly? If I hadn't only used a little of my strength, I'm afraid you would have died long ago. Seeing that the person who came was Lin Rei, Hong Lian said to Lin Rei. However, Hong Lian was now full of dignity. Her eyes carried a trace of disdain and contempt. Coupled with her condescending attitude, Lin Rei's last bit of hope was instantly extinguished. From then on, he no longer had any thoughts about Hong Lian. I know. However, I didn't come here to disturb you. I only came here because I want to make a deal with you. Listen to me first. If what I say is unable to move your heart, then pretend that I didn't say anything. Oh. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Hong Lian directly took back the pressure and murderous aura she released, and asked Lin Rei, let's hear it. I want to see what you have to make a deal with me. I know that your current cultivation has surpassed the Desheng stage, but I don't feel that your cultivation method is very good. It is easy to make you lack in attack power. If you are willing to help me, then I will give you this cultivation method. Lin Rei knew before that since Hong Lian had recovered her previous memories, she had also forgotten the cultivation method that was given to Hong Lian before. Therefore, Lin Rui was sure that Hong Lian's cultivation method was not particularly good at this time. It was not even comparable to the cultivation method of the lowest disciple of the Xuanzong sect. Therefore, Lin Rui was so confident to make a deal with Hong Lian. Cultivation method. My cultivation method is a heaven-level cultivation method. It can be said that even the cultivation method of anyone in the Tianxian continent can't be compared with my cultivation method. I really don't understand where you get the confidence to make a deal with me. After hearing that Lin Rui was going to use cultivation methods to trade, she laughed instantly. Her face was full of ridicule as she looked at Lin Rui and said, heaven-level cultivation method? Take a look at this cultivation method first. If you don't think it is good, then I have nothing to say. Having said that, Lin Rui took out a cultivation method from the system. He directly used his spiritual power to form a palm and dragged the cultivation method to Hong Lian. What good cultivation method can you have? Hong Lian said and picked up the cultivation method in front of her. When she reached the first page, her eyes could no longer move away. Even her originally cold face showed an excited expression as she muttered to herself. Water Moon Transmutation Technique, Intermediate Emperor Level Cultivation Method. It can be cultivated to the immortal venerable realm. The most suitable physique for it is the ice skin jade bone physique. However, all cultivators with water attribute spiritual roots can cultivate it. This cultivation method has twice the attack power of ordinary cultivation methods. If it is cultivated to the Desheng stage, it can crush the core of a star with a palm and crack the earth with a stomp of its feet. These words completely attracted Red Lotus' attention. However, what was even more shocking was that this child who looked to be in his teens actually had such a powerful cultivation method. At this moment, Red Lotus began to treat this child seriously. How is it? I don't know if you like this cultivation technique. If you don't like it, then just take it that I've just arrived. As he spoke, a palm formed from spirit she had already arrived in front of Red Lotus and grabbed the cultivation technique book of Water Moon Thought. Hey, don't. I agree to this deal. Tell me. What do you want me to do? You can give this cultivation method to me. While she was hesitantly looking at the cultivation method in her hand, a hand formed from spiritual energy suddenly took the book away. Immediately, Hong Lian hurriedly agreed to Lin Rui's request. Sure, but this is only for the Desheng stage. When I finish my business in Tianxian continent and leave, I will give you the rest of the cultivation method. Seeing that Hong Lian had agreed to his request, Lin Rui smiled and didn't say too much. After all, this matter was completely under Lin Rui's control. It's nothing much. Lin Rui said to Hong Lian casually, there is a group of flies at the entrance of the Black Forest. One of them is a Desheng stage cultivator. So, when we get out, we will deal with him. As for the others, you can deal with them if you want. If you don't want to, then leave them alive. I will kill them. Hearing Lin Li's words, Red Lotus immediately sent out her divine sense. As an earth immortal, Red Lotus' divine sense was naturally incomparably powerful. Instantly, Red Lotus' divine sense charged out of the Black Forest. Everyone, everything, and even the spiritual energy of the world appeared in Red Lotus' mind. Of course, this included Zhao Pan and the others. As expected, there are quite a few people. I really don't know how you managed to survive until now. To think that you would be chased by a Desheng stage cultivator. A few Desheng stage cultivators. I have to admire your courage. They can't be considered my enemies. They are just some greedy bastards. Lin Rui didn't deny that Hong Lian was talking about Zhao Pan and the others. Instead, he directly described them as bastards. Alright, I don't care if they are enemies or bastards. As long as I kill them, you have to give me the cultivation method from before. However, you don't have to go out because they have already broken the formation at the entrance of the Black Forest. Bang! Just as Hong Lian finished speaking, a loud sound came from the direction of the entrance, echoing throughout the Black Forest. So fast. Seeing this scene, his expression changed greatly. He originally thought that it would take some time for the elves to prepare, but now, all right, I'll give you the cultivation method. Hurry and guard them at the entrance. Don't let them in. There are many children and old people inside. Lin Rei panicked and hurriedly threw the cultivation method in his hand to Hong Lian. Then, he turned and walked towards the elves' residence. Heh, this little guy really has a lot of secrets. I didn't expect the elves to acknowledge him. What an incredible little guy. After seeing Lin Rei disappear, Hong Lian looked at the cultivation method in her hand. Her eyes were filled with killing intent as she looked at the entrance. Then, her body began to fade and finally disappeared. As for Linley, after leaving the back mountain, he quickly arrived at Cullen's place. All of the elves were gathered there. Their faces were filled with fear and panic, but not a single one of them was screaming in fear. Master, you're finally here. When Cullen saw Lin Rei's figure, he immediately threw himself into Lin Rei's embrace. His originally trembling body calmed down the moment he entered Lin Rei's embrace. Heh, it's fine. It'll be over soon. Seeing Cullen's appearance, Lin Rei patted his head in heartache. Then, he went to the elves and loudly said, "Don't worry, it'll be over soon. Don't worry, it will be very, very soon. Quickly pack up your things and prepare to leave this place today. Karger will bring you to a better place. Remember, other than this place, don't go anywhere else, especially the entrance to the Black Forest. After everything is settled, I will come back to get you." After saying that, Lin Rei handed Cullen to Kargol and turned to fly towards the entrance of the Black Forest. Chapter 138. Meanwhile, at the entrance of the Black Forest, Zhao Pan's excitement turned into fear. Just as Zhao Pan was happily reporting to his subordinates that the formation around the perimeter of the Black Forest had been broken, a woman suddenly appeared out of nowhere in the skies. She didn't have the slightest bit of cultivation on her, and she was devastatingly beautiful. This was Red Lotus, who had promised Linley. "Get lost, you are not welcome here. If you don't leave, don't blame the Emperor for being rude." While Zhao Pan and the others were still in a daze, a powerful oppressive aura swept over, pressing down on them. Even Zhao Pan had no place to stand and was forced to kneel on the ground. "You." Kneeling on the ground, Zhao Pan glared fiercely at the Red Lotus in the air. He gritted his teeth and said no more. Cold sweat dripped down Zhao Pan's face. What was even more frightening was that the cyan scripture on his head had burst out, making him look incomparably ferocious. "Humph, don't speak for the Emperor. You are not worthy. The Emperor only has one request, and that is to get lost from the Emperor. Don't you dare cause trouble for Lin Rei. If the Emperor finds out, it won't be so simple." Looking at Zhao Pan kneeling on the ground, Hong Lian revealed a look of disdain as she looked down at Zhao Pan condescendingly. Ha! Ha! Ha 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 ha! Just as Red Lotus finished speaking, Zhao Pan, who was kneeling on the ground, looked up and laughed. What are you laughing at?" Seeing Zhao Pan raise his head to the sky and laugh, Hong Lian was puzzled. I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at your naivety. Don't think that you can suppress me just because you are an Earth immortal. You are too naive." With that, the kneeling Zhao Pan slowly stood up. What was even more incredible was that his cultivation, which had originally been at the peak of the Mahayana stage, was slowly rising. Red Lotus was shocked to see this. What is going on? She watched as Zhao Pan's aura rose from Pinnacle Mahayana realm to Lower Earth Immortal realm, Middle Earth Immortal realm, and Upper Earth Immortal realm. At this point, his aura finally stopped. At the same time, Red Lotus also prepared for battle. This feels so good. Zhao Pan, who was at the upper stage of the Earth Immortal realm, stood up and looked at the Red Lotus in the sky with hatred. "You, who exactly are you? Why do you have such a cultivation level? It was impossible to see a peak Mahayana stage cultivator reach the upper earth immortal stage in an instant unless that person had a very powerful secret art or used some forbidden treasure. You don't have to care who I am, and you don't have the right to care. What I want to know now is why you are here, and according to what I know, there is no one in the profound sky continent who can break through to the Dan Earth immortal realm. Your appearance makes me very puzzled, and even more surprised. Hearing Zhao Pan's words, Red Lotus's face darkened. She immediately released her cultivation. Suddenly, the clouds in the sky changed, and the ground was filled with sand and pebbles. The atmosphere was so tense that it was frightening. You don't have to care who the Emperor is. Emperor said the same thing, get out of here. The Emperor has taken care of this place. If you know what's good for you, get out of here. You won't give up until all hope is gone. Since that's the case, let's fight. Seeing that Red Lotus was still speaking so impudently, Zhao Pan's anger was instantly ignited. A sword suddenly appeared in his hand, and he rushed towards Red Lotus with his upper earth immortal realm cultivation. Red Lotus, on the other hand, was poor. She had nothing, not to mention any magic weapons or equipment. Seeing Zhao Pan rushing towards her with a magic weapon, she panicked. An earth immortal without any magic weapon dares to act so arrogantly in front of me. You really don't know what's good for you. Watch my blazing sky. In an instant, a large amount of flames flew out from Zhao Pan's sword, turning into a flaming sword shadow that slashed towards Red Lotus. Black Frost Palm. Feeling the power of the sword's shadow, Red Lotus did not fight back recklessly. Instead, she used her own martial skill to block it. However, she did not block it for long before she was pierced by the sword's shadow. Although the sword's shadow was blocked by the black ice palm and its power was reduced slightly, it was still very powerful. Seeing that the sword's shadow was about to reach her, Red Lotus immediately dodged and narrowly avoided it. Huff. That was close. I almost got hit. At this moment, Red Lotus recalled the sword's shadow and felt a lingering fear in her heart. Cold sweat flowed down her face uncontrollably. Weren't you very powerful just now? Why, you're not boasting anymore? Standing in the air, Zhao Pan sneered at Red Lotus, who was still in a state of lingering fear. Since that's the case, let's end this. After saying that, Zhao Pan raised the 3-foot-long frosty ray and rushed toward Hong Lian again. This time, Hong Lian could clearly sense the killing intent coming from Zhao Pan. Could it be that I'm really going to die here this time? Seeing Zhao Pan charging over, Red Lotus was not afraid. She only felt regret. That's it? Just as Red Lotus closed her eyes and prepared to accept death, a mocking laugh came from not far away. Not long after, Lin Rei appeared in front of Red Lotus. You. Why are you here? Can't you see that even Emperor Huang isn't a match for him? Hurry up and scram. Seeing that the person who had come was Lin Rei, who was only in the lower stages of his tribulation, Red Lotus was speechless. Catch. Hearing Red Lotus' words, although on the surface she seemed to be cursing at Linley, in reality, she was protecting him. Linley laughed, and his heart felt warm. He pulled out a face, then tossed it towards Red Lotus. I'm not giving this sword to you. I'm only lending it to you temporarily. Once you're done with it, you have to return it to me. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Red Lotus unconsciously reached out to catch it. A sword appeared in her hand. What? What grade is this? She looked at the sword in her hand. It was completely purple and did not have a blade. The 2 words myriad laws were engraved on the sword's hilt. The words were ancient and carried a trace of pressure. What was even more unbelievable was that she did not recognize the words. Don't worry about the grade. Can't you see that Zhao Pan is almost in front of you? What are you still hesitating for? At this moment, Lin Rei did not have the time to waste words with Red Lotus. He was afraid that Red Lotus would be injured. Seeing Zhao Pan's attack, Lin Rei hurriedly reminded her. Oh. Oh oh. Hearing Lin Rei's reminder, Red Lotus did not waste words. She directly collided with Zhao Pan's 3-foot-long cold light. With a bang, Red Lotus, who now had a magic tool, was no longer someone who only knew how to dodge. After Red Lotus and Zhao Pan's weapons collided, a figure was sent flying. Humph, do you still think that Emperor is a braggart? The one who was sent flying wasn't Red Lotus as Elder Xiong had imagined. Instead, it was their sect master, Zhao Pan. Seeing this scene, everyone from the Kunlun sect was dumbfounded. They had never imagined that Zhao Pan, who was at the upper stage of the earthly immortal realm, would be defeated so easily. You. How can you? How can the face in your hand not stop? At this moment, Zhao Pan, who was lying on the ground 100 meters away, got up. He was not surprised by Red Lotus's strength, but by the sword in Red Lotus's hand. What's wrong? Isn't my sword beautiful? But I still feel that your sword is more special. Hearing Zhao Pan's baffling words, Red Lotus directly scolded back. She even revealed a mischievous smile. This time, Zhao Pan almost vomited blood. Impossible. That sword of yours can't possibly last forever. Impossible. Zhao Pan didn't bother arguing with Red Lotus, but he kept on asking questions like why. In the end, he shouted out loud, his eyes filled with disbelief. Seeing this, Red Lotus was momentarily confused. What are you talking about? What do you mean by not stopping? Are you going to fight or not? If not, take your people and scram. Red Lotus really did not understand why Zhao Pan kept on staring at the sword that Lin Rei gave her. Humph, you want me to scram? I'm afraid you're not qualified. Suddenly, Zhao Pan seemed to have gained some fighting spirit. He rushed over, not caring that he was not staring at Red Lotus, but the sword in Red Lotus's hand. Humph, since you're courting death, don't blame me. When Red Lotus saw Zhao Pan rushing over, she became serious and released all of her cultivation base. Suddenly, the two of them began to fight. For a moment, the two of them were inextricably entangled. Linley, who had been standing at the back, did not stay idle either. Linley moved and the Martial Emperor Divine Spear appeared in his hand. Cold light flashed from the tip of the spear, causing people to have goosebumps all over their bodies. Especially when they saw Linley's emotionless eyes, it was even more terrifying. Kill. As soon as he shouted the word, he rushed towards the remaining Kunlun sect disciples. Elder Xiong of the Kunlun sect did not seem to care at all. He did not make a move at all. His eyes were fixed on Zhao Pan who was fighting Red Lotus. Ah! Screams came from the back. Wherever the Martial Emperor Divine Spear in Lin Rei's hand passed, there would be rivers of blood. Moreover, everyone died horribly. Humph, since you don't care about the lives of these disciples, don't blame me for starting a massacre. Seeing that Elder Xiong was indifferent, Lin Rei continued to kill with the Martial Emperor Divine Spear. Slowly, Lin Rei got used to this kind of killing. His speed began to increase. In the end, as long as they had not reached the great vehicle stage, they would be killed by Lin Rei in one move. Time passed quickly. 40 to 50 disciples were killed by Lin Rei without any chance to retaliate. Chapter 139. To Lin Rei, this was only a matter of time. However, to the Kunlun sect, this was a solid foundation. These 40 to 50 people were the elites of the Kunlun sect. But now, they were all killed by Lin Rei. As an elder of the Kunlun sect, Elder Xiong was still immersed in the battle between Hong Lian and Zhao Pan. He had no idea what Lin Rei was doing. Hey, I've already killed all your Kunlun sect members. Are you still in the mood to watch? At this time, Lin Rei had already killed all the disciples of the Kunlun sect. However, when he saw Elder Xiong, Lin Rei revealed a mocking smile and mocked him. A voice pulled Elder Xiong back to reality from the battle between Hong Lian and Zhao Pan. Turning his head, he saw that it was no longer the black forest filled with disciples. Instead, it was a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. A young man with a spear in his hand was now at the top of the mountain of corpses. Blood was still dripping from his body. He looked like an ancient war corpse that had just climbed up. What? How is this possible? A cultivator in the lower stage of the tribulation stage has a place to rest? Kunlun Sect had 40 to 50 cultivators above the combination stage. When Elder Xiong saw that all the disciples of his sect had been killed, his heart was bleeding. These disciples were all painstakingly trained by him. Now, they were all gone. For a moment, Elder Xiong couldn't control his emotions. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he stared at Lin Rei. The cold light in his hand flickered with a chilling light. News. You actually dared to kill so many of my disciples. I swear that I'll make you stupid to appease their souls in heaven. Elder Xiong's face was filled with rage as he rushed towards Lin Rei with the cold light in his hand. Die, you ant. Ha ha ha, as he watched Elder Xiong charge towards him, the blood in Lin Li's body began to boil. The desire to do battle in his body exploded forth uncontrollably. His eyes were filled with fervor as he watched Elder Xiong charge over. Ha ha ha, ant? It's too early to say that. It's still not certain who will win in the end. In an instant, the two weapons collided, causing sparks to fly everywhere. The shockwaves from the collision between Lin Rei and Elder Xiong shattered everything within a 1-mile radius. Clank. 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 The sound of weapons clashing echoed throughout the forest. What shocked Elder Xiong the most was that this cultivator who was only at the lower stage of transcending tribulation was actually able to fight evenly against him, a cultivator who had reached a higher realm. He couldn't help but be shocked at this point. Perhaps it could be said that he was astonished. Kid, I didn't expect you to have some skills. But you won't be so lucky next time. Threads of spring waning. As he spoke, Elder Xiong used his famous supreme technique, the waning spring swordplay. Instantly, a cold light transformed into over 100 longswords, all of which charged towards Lin Li. Kid, if you can take this move, then I have nothing to say. Elder Xiong looked at the martial technique he used and said to Lin Rei confidently. His eyes were filled with disdain. Hee, all right. Since you only have this much strength, then I won't be polite. Seeing more than 100 illusory artifacts formed by spiritual energy rushing towards him, Lin Rei didn't hesitate and directly used his disciple's martial technique, solitary thunder spear art. Ha! Thunder, draw, burn. In an instant, Lin Rei used his fastest reaction to use his strongest offensive martial technique. Suddenly, the sky was filled with dark clouds. A bolt of lightning struck down and landed on Lin Rei's invincible divine spear. Kunlun Sect's beast, my personality is that if people don't offend me, then I'll let them off. But if they want to offend me, then I'll repay them 100 times over. As he spoke, Lin Li unleashed the lightning stored within the invincible divine spear in his hands. A thunderous boom rang out, and a dragon of lightning shot forth, instantly clashing with Elder Xiong's attack. However, miraculously, a martial skill unleashed by a low-tribulation cultivator like Lin Li was able to shatter a martial skill unleashed by a Grand Ascension stage being. Even more inconceivable was that after Lin Li's lightning dragon destroyed Elder Xiong's attack, its aura didn't diminish in the slightest as it continued to charge toward Elder Xiong. What? Elder Xiong was shocked. He never thought that a cultivator in the lower stage of the tribulation stage would be able to use such a powerful martial technique. Not good. Seeing the lightning dragon charging over, Elder Xiong hurriedly used his longsword to block in front of Zhongshan in an attempt to block the dragon. Bang! A loud sound was heard. When the dragon's shadow and the long sword collided, Elder Xiong's body flew out. In an instant, he flew to the ground 100 meters away. Elder Xiong smashed a big hole in the ground. Oh, this is the power of a Mahayana realm cultivator? Seeing Elder Xiong fly out, Lin Rei's face showed disdain and said to Elder Xiong, who was 100 meters away. You, Elder Xiong, who was lying in the hole, stood up and looked at Lin Rei, who was standing in the air. For a moment, he was so angry that he spat out a mouthful of blood. He glared at Lin Rei angrily and swallowed back the words that were about to come out of his mouth. At this time, Elder Xiong was extremely regretful. He didn't expect such a child to be so powerful. What was even more unexpected was that he would be defeated so easily. An elder of the Kunlun sect? What a disappointment. I thought I could have a big battle, but I didn't expect to be so disappointed. Originally, he thought that he would be able to fight to his heart's content today, but now that his fighting spirit had dissipated, his face revealed a look of disappointment. You. Boy, I am the Grand Elder of the Kunlun sect. Aren't you afraid of the Kunlun sect's revenge? These words instantly caused Linli, who was in midair, to laugh. The previously arrogant Elder Xiong had now become a coward. Ha, you're really something. I even offended your sect master, Zhao Pan. Do you think I'm someone who is afraid of your Kunlun sect? Besides, I can destroy your Kunlun sect in a matter of minutes. Your Kunlun sect only has Zhao Pan, who is at the peak of the Mahayana realm. After saying that, Lin Rei's gaze moved to the other side, where Red Lotus and Zhao Pan were fighting fiercely. Look at them, that's called a battle. Look at yourself, how can you be so useless? Can't you at least let me have some fun? When Linli saw Red Lotus, he pointed at Elder Xiong's nose and spoke. His expression was that of a senior lecturing a junior. This scene made Elder Xiong, who was standing on the ground, unable to suppress the anger in his heart. However, he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to defeat Linli, so he stood there without moving. Let's end this. Seeing Zhao Pan's action, Lin Rei did not waste any more words. He immediately rushed forward with the Martial Emperor Divine Spear in his hand. His speed was extraordinary. In an instant, Lin Rei was beside the injured Elder Xiong and performed a spear art similar to the one he performed before. Ding! Elder Xiong put down the spear in a panic. However, Lin Rei's speed became faster and faster. Gradually, Elder Xiong could no longer keep up with Lin Rei's rhythm. In the end, there were no less than 100 wounds on Elder Xiong's body. Die! Saying that, Lin Rei's eyes flashed coldly. He stabbed the Martial Emperor Divine Spear at Elder Xiong. Don't, as long as you don't kill me, I can give you anything, as long as, hearing Elder Xiong's pleas for mercy, Lin Rei did not listen at all and directly interrupted him. I don't need it. You should keep it for yourself in the netherworld. Poof! Lin Rei's spear directly pierced Elder Xiong's dantian. In an instant, not only his dantian, but even his nascent soul was destroyed by Lin Rei's spear. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for successfully challenging someone of a higher level. In order to encourage the host to continue working hard, the system will reward the host with a gift pack. I didn't expect to get a gift pack in exchange for killing a Mahayana realm cultivator. This battle was worth it. Looking at the gift pack in his inventory, Lin Rei did not remember to open it. Instead, he pulled the Martial Emperor Divine Spear out of Elder Xiong's body and looked at the sky, at Red Lotus, who was fighting Zhao Pan. Red Lotus, end this quickly. Don't waste any more time. If you can kill him, kill him. If you can't, just cripple him. Seeing Red Lotus engaged in battle in the skies, Linli began to grow frantic. He was afraid that Red Lotus had just awakened and wasn't able to fully control her own power. Even more frightening was the fact that Zhao Pan, as the Grand Master of the Kunlun sect, would definitely have a chance to survive. The Emperor said that there's always a second time. However, this is the third time you've called the Emperor's name. Since you asked the Emperor to use a sword, the Emperor will not hold it against you. However, I can't guarantee that the next time the Emperor will do something crazy. Red Lotus, who was in the middle of battle, heard Lin Rei's shout. Red Lotus, who was originally excited, glared at Lin Rei with murderous intent. Red Lotus did not know that because of this sentence, Lin Rei no longer cared about her. Die. Although Red Lotus said this to Lin Rei's words were not without reason. Zhao Pan, who was originally at a disadvantage, instantly changed his expression when he heard Lin Rei's words. He hurriedly begged Red Lotus. Fellow Daoist, the two of us have no enmity between us. Don't you think it's a bit unworthy for you to do this for someone you don't want to do? If you can give me some face today, then in the future, I'll obey all of your orders at home. I've never made deals with animals. Looking at Zhao Pan's shameless face, Hong Lian refused without even thinking about it. She began to attack like crazy. In the end, when Zhao Pan finally couldn't hold on any longer, he took out something that looked like a shield from his storage ring. Since that's the case, the mountains will not change and the rivers will continue to flow. I will remember today's grudge. In the future, I will definitely take revenge. Yin Yang Shield Technique, Extreme Yang. Zhao Pan muttered a few words to himself before his body turned into a ray of light and flew off into the distance, disappearing without a trace. Chapter 140. Just you wait. When this old man sees all of you again, I'll make sure you die without a burial ground. Zhao Pan's final words were shouted out by the fleeing Zhao Pan. Instantly, Zhao Pan's words reverberated in the air. You're already in this state, yet you still dare to boast so shamelessly. I really feel ashamed for your master. Seeing this, a mocking look appeared in Lin Li's eyes as he stared at the fleeing Zhao Pan. At this moment, Lin Rei's anxious heart finally relaxed. His tense body also relaxed, and he no longer felt as anxious as before. Whoosh. At this moment, Hong Lian, who was now in the sky, directly arrived in front of Lin Rei. She revealed an expression that warned others not to come near her, and the cold light in her eyes grew even more intense. Brat, I won't bicker with you about what happened just now. However, if something like this happens again, don't blame me. Hong Lian, who had landed on the ground, looked at Lin Rei. Thinking back to what she had said before, she couldn't help but warn Lin Rei in a moment of anger. You're thinking too much. From the moment you woke up, I knew that the Hong Lian who worried about me in the past was no longer here. The current you is just a person I don't know, but I've hired. I don't want you to die so quickly. If you die, I'll also suffer. Looking at the insufferably arrogant Hong Lian before him, Lin Rei felt an incomparable pressure in his heart. This was especially so when he saw the arrogant look in her eyes. Lin Rei repeatedly wondered if the current Hong Lian was the same Hong Lian as before. That's for the best. If you continue to pester me, I won't be so merciful. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Hong Lian glared at Lin Rei before turning around and walking away. However, at this moment, she was stopped by Lin Rei. Hey, I said before, don't pester me in the future. Did you forget so quickly? Red Lotus, who had turned around, looked at Lin Li with a displeased look, her eyes filled with killing intent. I think you've made a mistake. The reason why I stopped you is not to pester you, but to ask if you've given me back my face. I think a dignified earthly celestial expert like you wouldn't be greedy for my magic treasure, would you? Looking at Hong Lian, Lin Rei didn't give her any face and pointed out the problem. In an instant, Hong Lian's face turned red, and she looked at Lin Rei with resentment. Isn't it just a sword? Is it that precious? No matter what, I was the one who saved you. You can't even bear to give me a broken sword. Swoosh. After Red Lotus finished speaking, she tossed the Violet Jade 10,000 spells sword to Lin Li. You're saying that my Dharma artifact that can cut an immortal artifact in half is a broken sword? Then I really have to ask for your guidance. What is the level of the magic tool that can enter your eyes? Divine tool? Chaotic? Or perhaps Hongmeng? When he heard Red Lotus say, "Lousy sword," Linley revealed his clothes and laughed at Red Lotus. What? Hongmeng? Chaotic? Divine weapon? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, but you're saying that this magic sword can cut through an immortal weapon? Red Lotus's face was filled with shock. She had never thought that a cultivator in the lower stage of the tribulation stage could possess such a high-level magic weapon. What was even more unexpected was that the magic sword in her hand could cut through an immortal weapon. Red Lotus found this inconceivable. It's useless to say more now. Since the magic sword is already in my hands, you should hurry up and leave. In this life, other than picking you up, we'll never see each other again. Lin Rei's heart clenched as he said this, but his face remained calm. He turned around and flew toward the elf tribe's encampment. In this life? We won't see each other again in this life? Watching as Linley disappeared into the distance, Red Lotus stared in the direction Linley had disappeared in with great reluctance. She seemed to have lost her soul, as though she had lost someone very important to her. She mumbled to herself. Sigh, forget it. No matter how I think about it, you and I are not from the same world. Since that's the case, there's no need to be nostalgic. With that, Hong Lian flew toward the Red Lotus Empire. She was so fast that no one noticed her. After Lin Rei separated from Hong Lian, he arrived at the elf tribe's encampment. When he saw that Cargill had packed up, Lin Rei nodded in satisfaction. Carger, as the current clan leader, I order you to bring the remaining members of the clan to the place I told you to. You must not delay on the way and must reach there as soon as possible. The appearance-changing pill that I refined previously is gone and can only be delayed by 10 days. You can split it as you see fit. Looking at the elves, Linley handed over the disguise pills that he had already concocted to Cargill, allowing him to distribute them as he pleased. Yes, clan leader. I, Cargill, swear on my life that I will bring the elf tribe to the encampment safely. With that, Carger swore an oath to the heavens. His tone was filled with determination. All right, bring the elf tribe and follow me. I will arrange a powerhouse for you. She is an elder of the Xuanzong Sect. She will bring you to the Royal Pill City in the western region safely. Yes. Upon hearing Lin Rei's words, Cargill hurriedly gathered all the elf tribe members and brought along some necessities before following Lin Rei to the Black Forest. Master, are you really not going to let me follow you? Cargill, who had been following Lin Rei, could not help but ask. I know my cultivation is not enough, but I can work hard to cultivate. Ka Luan, I know what you mean, but this time, the place we're going to is really not a place that someone of your level can go to. Master promises you that as long as you can reach the nascent soul stage, Master will definitely let you leave this place and go to a very, very fun planet. So this time, don't follow me. Looking at Cullen, Linley looked at Cullen with great reluctance as he made this promise to Cullen. Okay. Cargill clearly knew the result, but he still said it and returned in failure. Okay, don't be like this. I said that as long as you can reach the nascent soul stage, I will let you follow me, including training, okay? Cargill, who was originally unhappy, immediately became excited after hearing Lin Rei's words. At this moment, Cargill was full of fighting spirit because of Lin Rei's words. In the next year, Cargill cultivated with all his might. Even Cargill's mother, who was the closest to him, could not dissuade him. Okay, we're here. You guys wait here for a while, I'll go find someone. After speaking, he walked towards Xue Wushuang's hiding place. In the blink of an eye, Linley arrived at the place where Xue Wushuang was hiding. Looking at the cave in front of him, Lin Rei did not go in. Instead, he used his divine sense to speak to Xue Wushuang, who was cultivating inside. Xue Wushuang, hurry up and come out. I have something for you to do. Originally, Lin Rei wanted to go in directly to find Xue Wushuang, but when he used his divine sense to explore, he found that Xue Wushuang was cultivating, so he directly thought of going in. Young master. Xue Wushuang, who was cultivating, immediately opened her eyes when she heard the person's words. She immediately stopped cultivating and walked out of the cave where she was in seclusion. Young master. When Xue Wushuang saw Lin Rei, she directly knelt on the ground and bowed to Lin Rei. Hurry up and get up. Looking at your cultivation, you should be able to break through again soon. After sensing Xue Wushuang's cultivation, Lin Rei was pleasantly surprised. Looking at Xue Wushuang, Lin Rei showed a look of admiration. Yes, your subordinate has been working hard to cultivate in order to be able to help young master in the future and contribute to young master's meager strength. After saying that, Xue Wushuang stood up and stood behind Lin Rei with a smile on her face. Alright, I'm here today to ask you to protect a group of people so that they can safely reach the headquarters. At the same time, I'll let you go back. After reaching the headquarters, you can cultivate well and strive to break through your cultivation as soon as possible. Moreover, at the headquarters, you can have a better foundation for cultivation. Yes, young master. After hearing Lin Rei's words, Xue Wushuang agreed unconditionally. When she heard that there were better cultivation resources, Xue Wushuang's face revealed an excited smile. Let's go. After saying that, Lin Rei directly brought Xue Wushuang to the place where the elf tribe was. After explaining some important matters to them and giving them some spirit stones for the journey, he let Xue Wushuang lead Cargill and the elf tribe away. It's time to fulfill the last words of the ecliptic sage. After seeing the elf tribe and Cargill disappear from his sight, Lin Rei withdrew his gaze and took out the map that he bought. After finding the land of death that the ecliptic sage mentioned, Lin Rei was shocked. The land of death, a place with death, was a place that made everyone in the profound sky continent shudder. No one was willing to go near the land of death. What made Lin Rei even more surprised was that Daoist Hong Rui, who was mentioned by the ecliptic sage, was the ruler of the land of death. At the same time, he was also the leader of the demonic cultivators, and some of them were even at the middle stage of the Mahayana realm. Damn, this ecliptic sage's lover has such a powerful force? Then why did he die in the eastern continent? At this time, Lin Rei only saw the surface and did not see the back. At that time, when the ecliptic sage died, Daoist Hong Rui was only a small nascent soul realm cultivator. Moreover, the ecliptic sage was in Daoist Hong Rui's heart, so he walked into the land of death that no one dared to go. Finally, for some unknown reason, after Daoist Hong Rui entered the land of death, his cultivation increased crazily. In the last few years, his cultivation increased from the nascent soul realm to the Mahayana realm. After that, anyone who went to the land of death would be killed by the sect that Daoist Hong Rui established. Since then, the land of death became the place where Daoist Hong Rui was stationed, and no one dared to go near it. Chapter 141. This is incredible. Upon seeing the land of death, Linley was surprised for a moment, then immediately set off towards the land of death. The land of death wasn't too far from the Black Forest. Based on Linley's current speed, he would be able to reach it in roughly 15 days. On the way to the land of death, Lin Rei suddenly remembered that he had not seen the little dragon for some time. He went into the system to check and found a message left by the little dragon. Only then did he know that the little dragon had entered a state of hibernation. He also knew that the reason the little dragon had entered a state of hibernation was all because of him. After knowing the reason for the little dragon's hibernation, Lin Rei made up his mind to increase his cultivation as soon as possible so that the little dragon could wake up as soon as possible. On the other hand, after leaving the Black Forest, Red Lotus came to the Red Lotus Empire according to her memory. When she saw that the Red Lotus Empire that she had founded back then was now a huge crocodile, she smiled with relief. I didn't expect that after my death, the younger generation did not decline the Hong clan. Not bad, After saying that, Red Lotus's body flashed and she came to the sky above the residence of the Emperor of the Red Lotus Empire. Looking at everything in front of her, Red Lotus felt an inexplicable sense of strangeness. All of you, members of the Red Lotus Empire's royal bloodline, gather in the ancestral hall within half an hour. If you do not show up, you will be severely punished according to the clan's rules. After sighing, Red Lotus shouted at the Red Lotus Imperial Palace under her feet with the spiritual power of an earthly immortal. Suddenly, the Imperial City was in an uproar. What's going on? Who is it that has such a cultivation? At this time, in the Imperial Palace of the Red Lotus Empire, Hong Yundao heard the shout and quickly sat up. His eyes were full of shock as he looked up at the ceiling. Hong Yundao was not the only one who reacted this way. All the members of the royal family in Red Lotus Empire put down the things in their hands and rushed towards the Hong clan's ancestral hall when they heard those words. It was not because of those words, but because of the pressure that came from those words. As for Hong Lian, she arrived at the Hong clan's ancestral hall in a flash after saying that. She walked in and smiled when she saw the soul lamp rising from the highest point of the hall. Sigh. God knows how many years have passed. Why are there so many extinguished soul lamps here? Looking at the many extinguished soul lamps on the high platform, Red Lotus Endless revealed a sorrowful expression. His heart was filled with sorrow. Father, back then, I didn't have that kind of strength. Now that I'm an earth immortal, I'll help you fulfill your unfulfilled wish. As for those who killed you back then, I'll make them pay a painful price, no matter who they are. Red Lotus exuded a terrifying murderous aura when she saw her father's soul lamp. If Lin Ray were here, he would be shocked. What could make Red Lotus have such a murderous aura? Even Lin Ray wouldn't be surprised. Just like that, he sat quietly in front of his soul lamp, waiting for his descendants to arrive. Time passed bit by bit. There was not much time left until the deadline of half an hour. However, not a single person from the Hong clan had arrived. Similarly, Hong Lian's anticipation turned into disappointment. Sigh, has the Hong clan really declined to such a state after my death? Bang! Just when Red Lotus was feeling disappointed, a figure broke through the door and rushed in. The old man was stunned when he saw Red Lotus standing in front of the soul lamp. Humph, no manners at all. Can't you see this is the ancestral hall? Red Lotus' disappointment grew when she saw the old man appear in such a manner. Well, who are you? Why are you in the ancestral hall of the Hong clan? The old man didn't come to his senses for a moment. He hurriedly shouted at Red Lotus with a ferocious expression and eyes full of disdain. Ha, ha ha ha. Good, good. I didn't expect the Hong clan to be so corrupted after my death. Since I'm back, all of you shall disappear. The Hong clan doesn't need vermin like you anymore. Red Lotus was very disappointed to see the old man like this. But when she thought of her father's wish, she could only choose to wipe out the vermin of the Hong clan and not hesitate to wipe out the Red Lotus Empire. Ha ha ha, who do you think you are? After your death, let me tell you, I'm the elder of the Gong Hong clan. Can you kill me? What are you going to do to me? You. Pfft, just when the old man was shouting at Red Lotus, his voice stopped abruptly. Red Lotus' hand was bleeding, and pain was spreading from his neck. Ah, the old man's eyes widened as he looked at the young and beautiful lady in front of him. His eyes were filled with disbelief. He clutched his neck tightly with both hands, but it was useless. Blood was flowing out slowly. The only outcome was that he would die from blood loss. Humph, someone like you is worthy of being an elder of the Hong clan? Since it's like this, I don't mind reshuffling the entire Hong clan. I want to let them know that with me, Hong Lian, in the Hong clan, there's simply no need for this kind of vermin, and even more so, there's no need for an arrogant and overbearing person to be an elder. After saying that, Red Lotus's hand was filled with spirit force and directly slapped the old man until nothing was left. In the end, only a pool of blood was left on the ground. It was proof that an old man had died here. Slowly, after Red Lotus killed the old man, many people came in one after another. Finally, the emperor of the Red Lotus Empire, Hong Yundao, who was wearing a dragon robe, walked in through the door. "Humph, you're the emperor of this generation's Red Lotus Empire? Didn't you hear what I said? Half an hour doesn't mean that I'll let you all arrive in half an hour. Instead, I'm telling you all to come earlier. Yet, you all dilly-dallied. What if the experts of an enemy nation came to attack? You'd have been eliminated by them long ago." Before Hong Yundao could say anything, he was reprimanded by the unknown lady before him. In an instant, the emperor of the Red Lotus Empire lost all of his face. Due to the fact that he had sensed the cultivation of the lady before him, Hong Yundao did not flare up. However, he was still very unconvinced. This, Senior, I'm truly sorry. In the future, I'll try my best to follow Senior's instructions and come earlier. And you all, as the relatives of the Hong clan, you don't even have the slightest concept of time. I truly have no idea how the Red Lotus Empire managed to flourish in your hands. It was not only Hong Yundao. Even the relatives of the Hong clan and the old ancestor of the Hong clan that came with him were fiercely reprimanded by Red Lotus. In an instant, everyone present lost all of their face due to Hong Yundao's reprimand. Cough, I wonder who this fellow cultivator is? Why would you appear in the ancestral hall of my Red Lotus Empire? At this moment, the fourth emperor, Hong Tianling, walked out and asked Red Lotus with a puzzled expression. However, Red Lotus could see from Hong Tianling's eyes that he did not feel any disdain after being reprimanded by her. You're not bad. Looking at your age and your cultivation of the Mahayana realm, you must have been an emperor before. Hong Lian asked Hong Tianling with a look of admiration in her eyes when she saw Hong Tianling walking out to ask her a question. Yes, you're right, Senior. I'm the old ancestor of the Red Lotus Empire, the fourth emperor since the establishment of the Red Lotus Empire. I'm ashamed that I did not fulfill old ancestors' wish in this aspect. I can only survive in a random place in the central mainland. Hearing Red Lotus's question, Hong Tianling showed an ashamed expression and said to Red Lotus. You're already not bad. After Red Lotus's death, you're able to let the Red Lotus Empire survive in this random place without being exterminated. This is already a blessing in disguise. At this moment, Red Lotus was very glad. Glad that the Hong clan wasn't completely useless. She didn't expect that after her death, so many imperial lords had passed by. Thinking of this, Red Lotus felt that she had been dead for many years. Tell me, how many years have passed since Red Lotus's death? How has the Red Lotus Empire been? How many direct descendants of Red Lotus are still alive? Hong Tianling was stunned by this random question, and the people from the Hong clan were stunned as well. They never thought that the senior in front of them would ask such a question. Senior, it has been more than 100,000 years since old ancestor of the Red Lotus Empire passed away. As for direct descendants, they're long gone. When old ancestor of the Red Lotus Empire passed away, he did not leave behind any children. Therefore, only his younger brother was left behind. All of us are the descendants of old ancestor of the Red Lotus Empire. As for the Red Lotus Empire, as you can see, although it's not invincible in the central mainland, it's not easy to bully. What? 100,000 years? When Red Lotus heard Hong Tianling's words, she was shocked. His face immediately revealed a look of shock, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. 100,000 years? Why would I be resurrected after 100,000 years? Moreover, I was resurrected by a child. Could it be like what that person said? That I was resurrected by him? At this moment, the more Red Lotus thought about it, the more she felt that something was amiss. 100,000 years was too long. Even a Mahayana realm cultivator would have a lifespan of at most 10,000 years, let alone a dead person. It was impossible for his physical body to be preserved, let alone be resurrected after 100,000 years. Phew. Looks like I need to find him when the time comes. Red Lotus murmured to herself in a daze after hearing Hong Tianling's story. Meanwhile, Hong Tianling, who was standing next to her, heard everything clearly. She was scared out of her wits. Plop. Hong Tianling quickly got on her knees and kowtowed towards Red Lotus. Ancestor Red Lotus, is it really you? What? Hong Tianling's words shocked everyone present. No, it wasn't just shock, it was more accurate to say that they were scared out of their wits. Plop. Plop. Everyone regained their wits and kneeled on the ground. However, they were still very afraid, especially Hong Yundao. How can this be? How can this young lady be Ancestor Red Lotus who has lived for more than 100,000 years? At this moment, Hong Yun even had the thought of dying. Thinking back to her previous actions, she broke out in cold sweat. Get up. I won't say much since you know that I'm back. However, the current Hong clan is no longer the same as the Hong clan of the past. You all are relying on the Red Lotus Kingdom's support to be lazy. If this continues, your clan will be destroyed soon. Having said that, Lin Rei stared at Hong Yundao with a cold glint and murderous intent. Especially the current Imperial Lord. In my opinion, you should hand over the position of Imperial Lord and guard the Ancestral Hall from now on. What? After hearing Red Lotus's words, Red Cloud Daoist, who was wearing a dragon robe, did not react for a moment and directly fainted. Humph, what a disappointment. Why did I choose someone like you to be the Imperial Lord? Red Lotus looked disappointed when she saw Hong Yundao fainted. She did not say anything else and walked out, leaving behind some people who were deep in thought. As for the unconscious Hong Yundao, his dragon robe was removed and he was thrown into the Ancestral Hall to guard it. Time passed quickly. In these few days, Red Lotus had announced his return to the entire Tianxian continent. In these few days, he had successfully ascended to the throne of the Red Lotus Empire's emperor. He had also reshuffled the royal family, including the other surviving emperors. Suddenly, the entire Red Lotus Kingdom took on a new look. The elites who were sent out to search for her were also summoned back. As soon as the news of the Red Lotus Empire's revival and regaining control of the Red Lotus Empire was released, the entire Profound Sky continent fell into a state of panic. Even the other empires that were once enemies of the Red Lotus Empire began to offer their help to the Red Lotus Empire. Of course, Linley, who was at the periphery of the Land of Death, naturally received the news as well. The Red Lotus Kingdom? It seems that the Tianxian continent is going to suffer again. I wonder how many people will die. When Lin Rei found out that Red Lotus had returned to the Empire and was the Imperial Lord, he did not feel anything but disdain. It seems that I have to speed up. I have to make them reach the nascent soul stage within 5 years and make a name for themselves in the Tianxian continent. Only then can I return to the modern world and reunite with my mother and siblings. Today, Lin Rei finally arrived at the Land of Death after a few days of sleepless nights. His eyes were filled with ecstasy and his heart was finally at ease. Looking at the Land of Death in front of him, Lin Rei had no intention of entering. After looking at it quietly for a long time, Lin Rei looked up to the sky and shouted, "Taoist Hong Rui, I am Lin Rei. I have come to inform you under the orders of the Zodiac Spiritual Master. Please come out to meet me." A long time passed, but there was no sign of anyone or anything. Seeing this, Linley, unwilling to give up, raised his head to the sky and roared. This time, Linley unleashed the full power of his cultivation base, and his voice shook the entire area. Chapter 142. Still not coming out? Seeing that his method didn't work, Lin Rei directly summoned the Scarlet Flame Tiger and made it roar at the Land of Death. A woo, the deafening roar of the tiger caused all the living creatures within a 100-kilometer radius around Linley to flee. As the roar continued, a sinister smile appeared on Linley's face. He believed that under the furious roar of an out-of-body stage Scarlet Flame Tiger, even the most patient person would be unable to hold themselves back from running out of frustration. Humph, I'll make you not come out. Little tiger, continue roaring until the person inside comes out. Lin Rei's heart was filled with mischief as he spoke to the scarlet flame tiger, who was roaring furiously in front of him. Boom! Not long after, a surge of anger and terrifying pressure swept out from the land of death. The scarlet flame tiger, who was roaring furiously, instantly became terrified. It quickly ran back to Lin Rei's side with its tail between its legs and looked at Lin Rei with grievance. Oh whoa, hee, don't be like that. Looking at the scarlet flame tiger, Lin Rei smiled. Little tiger, I came here for this person. You'll have to bear with it for a while. Wait a few days and I'll let you move freely outside. What do you think? Oh whoa. After hearing Lin Rei's words, the scarlet flame tiger, who was originally filled with grievance, instantly became excited. Its eyes, which were originally filled with grievance, were now filled with light. Heh, you brat. You're actually so cunning. I really don't know who led you astray. Looking at the scarlet flame tiger's appearance, Lin Rei smiled helplessly. Just as he finished speaking, Lin Rei revealed an awkward expression. All right. Just as Lin Rei finished speaking, the scarlet flame tiger looked at him and said, "It's you." He looked at Lin Rei. At this moment, Lin Rei realized something. For a moment, the atmosphere was filled with awkwardness. Thump, thump, thump. The scarlet flame tiger excitedly ran towards the back while roaring in excitement. It was as if it was a free eagle that wanted nothing more than to soar into the sky. Hee, it seems that these years have really suppressed it. I have to let it out more in the future. Otherwise, it will be terrible if it gets depression. Who is it? Who is it that dares to mess around in my place of death? Could it be that you don't know that I am cultivating in seclusion here? Just as Lin Rei was watching the scarlet flaming tiger run, he suddenly heard an angry roar coming from the land of death. In an instant, Lin Rei was overjoyed. Who are you? Why are you loitering in my place of death and letting your tamed beast roar wantonly here? At this moment, an old man walked out in anger. When he saw Lin Rei, the old man's eyes clearly showed more uneasiness. When he saw the scarlet flame tiger, the old man's eyes burst with killing intent. He couldn't wait to go up and kill the scarlet flame tiger. Hee, may I ask if you are Daoist Hongrui? Oh, you know my name. Then why are you still being so unreasonable here? Could it be that you don't know that I like peace? When Daoist Hongrui heard that Lin Rei knew his name, his face showed more anger. His tone was cold as he said to Lin Rei. That's right. However, this junior didn't come here to be impudent. I was just entrusted with a task. It's just that on the way here, I heard a lot of rumors that the land of death is a place that eats people without spitting out their bones. It seems that these rumors can't be completely believed. Oh. Entrusted with a task? Who entrusted you with a task? What is the purpose of your visit here? When he heard Lin Rei's words, Daoist Hongrui's face showed a puzzled expression. He looked at Lin Rei and said, "It's like this. This junior entered a mountain range in the east. Unfortunately, there was an expert who passed away in a sitting posture. This junior coincidentally opened an opportunity. Only then did I know that the person who passed away in a sitting posture was Huang Dao Master. Moreover, I obtained his last words. That's how I know about you, Daoist Hongrui." What, Huang Dao? When Daoist Hongrui heard the two words Huang Dao Master, a smile appeared on his face. However, when he heard that Huang Dao Master had died, the smile on his face disappeared. Instead, a sad expression appeared on his face. Tears were rolling in his eyes. You mean, Huang Dao is dead? How can he die? How can he die? He said that he would come back to find me. He said, boo-hoo. After he heard from Lin Rei that Huang Dao Master had died, Daoist Hong Rui's eyes instantly darkened. A sad and desperate expression appeared on his face. Tears fell from his eyes. How can this be? How can this be? How can this be? If you're dead, then what about me? I've waited for you for so many years. I've waited for you for so many years. You. At this moment, Daoist Hong Rui seemed to have gone mad. He raised his head to the sky and howled in grief. He was incomparably crazy. His face revealed a look of proof. Huang Dao, I waited for you for 1,000 years. For you, I betrayed my clan. For you, I hurt my parents' hearts. For you, I gave up my status as the young Mississippi. For you, I came to the land of death to cultivate the taboo book. For you, I became like this. But you. But what about you? You sent someone to tell me that you're dead. Where did you take me? Where did you take my feelings? Suddenly, Daoist Hong Rui howled towards the sky. His eyes were red and terrifying. When Lin Rei saw this scene, Lin Rei was so moved that he almost cried. However, he was stopped by Lin Rei. Sigh. What is love in this world? It makes people pledge their lives to each other. Seeing Daoist Hong Rui venting, Lin Rei did not step forward to stop him. Instead, he stood to the side and looked at him silently. After a long time, Daoist Hong Rui seemed to have grown tired of shouting. Or perhaps he didn't want to struggle anymore. Finally, he stopped all his actions. He stood there quietly and looked forward with empty eyes. Well, since you're done venting, I'll tell you the words that Ecliptic Taoist Master left for you. Looking at Hong Rui's appearance, Linli hurriedly said what Huang Dao Master wanted to say to Daoist Hong Rui. He said, Hong Rui, I'm sorry. In this life, I wasn't able to fulfill my promise, nor did I give you a perfect home. It's my fault. What I regret the most is that I wasn't able to take you with me and leave without hesitation. I regret it very much, but this is the truth. Everything can't be undone. Now, I'm most worried about you. Don't practice the Devil Dao cultivation method anymore. I know that you practiced the Devil Dao cultivation method for me, but I wasn't able to fulfill my promise until my death. I'm not worth it. Lin Rei paused and looked at Daoist Hong Rui. His face showed signs of struggle because Lin Rei didn't know what to say next. But in the end, Lin Rei still followed Ecliptic Taoist Master's words and said it. I hope that when I'm alive, you can stop practicing magic. Although it's useless, I still hope that you can return to how you were when I first met you. You were so innocent and kind. I don't want you to live in hatred, so stop. Don't avenge me. I won't tell you who killed me. If there's a next life, I will definitely take you with me and leave without any hesitation. So, Hong Rui, stop. Finally, Lin Rei said all the words that Ecliptic Taoist Master wanted to say to Daoist Hong Rui. After hearing Ecliptic Taoist Master's words, Daoist Hong Rui cried. But at this time, Daoist Hong Rui's eyes were full of vigor. Ecliptic Taoist Master, why are you so stupid? Why are you so stupid? At this time, Daoist Hong Rui was still very sad, but he didn't feel the pain from before. But now, he was told that his lover was dead. No one would be able to recover immediately. Thank you. Thank you for not going back on your words and helping Ecliptic Taoist Master to pass the message to me. This shows that Ecliptic Taoist Master didn't choose the wrong person. At this time, Daoist Hong Rui, who had recovered, looked at Lin Rei and nodded his head in appreciation. You don't have to be like this. I just promised Ecliptic Taoist Master. But I sympathize with your experience. Finally, I advise you not to live in memories. This will not be a good result for you in the future, whether it's life or cultivation. Linli looked at Red Lotus, and in his heart, he suddenly felt a thirst for talent. He spoke to Red Luck. Yes, thank you for your words. I will live well for Ecliptic Taoist Master. However, if it's possible for you to join my sect, I can allow you to regain your appearance in this aspect, and be able to cure your current condition. Not only that, I can also promise you that I'll help Reverend Huang Dao kill the people who had chased after his life back then. After a certain extent, I can even allow you to return to your youthful appearance. I can even promise you that I'll bring you out of the profound sky continent, leave this place, and head to a higher plane to cultivate. What? Lin Rei threw a shocking temptation at Daoist Hong Rui when he was in a weak mood. Lin Rei believed that the current Daoist Hong Rui would definitely join the Xuanzong sect. Yes, what you heard is correct. I can do it. Now, the only condition is whether you agree or not. I don't like to force people. After receiving the confirmation, Daoist Hong Rui smiled excitedly. You can really help me kill the people who hunted and seriously injured Ecliptic Taoist Master back then? You can really take me away from here and go to a higher plane for cultivation? Yes. Daoist Hong Rui knelt on the ground without thinking and said to Lin Rei, from now on, Daoist Hong Rui, am a member of the Xuanzong sect. I can't betray the sect for the rest of my life. If I do, I'm willing to be entangled by my inner demons and be killed by the heavenly tribulation. After death, I will fall into the Azura domain and be tempered by the heavenly tribulation until my soul dissipates. Chapter 143. Ha 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 ha, good, I really didn't misjudge you. You can rest assured. I'll definitely fulfill my promise to you. After you're done helping me with a matter, you can head to the Western Region's Royal Pill City and look for the manager of a store called the Nine Heavens Trading Company. Just say that you were introduced by me, and there will naturally be someone to receive you. After arriving at the sect, you can start cultivating. Seeing Hong Rui so readily agreed, Lin Rei was very excited. This was not something that a peak crossing tribulation stage cultivator could compare with. To Shang stage, it took time and talent to push forward. When you arrive at the Xuanzong sect, medicinal pills, cultivation methods, martial skills, magical techniques, whatever you want, no one will stop you. I believe that in the next year, with the help of the Xuanzong sect, you will soon be able to break through to the peak. Yes, thank you. What should I call you? Just when Hong Rui was about to thank Lin Rei, she didn't know what to call him. If she only cared about his name, it would be a bit inappropriate for her current identity. You. Hearing Hong Rui's words, Lin Rei smiled and said, you should follow the others and call me young master. Of course, this is only limited to the outside world. When you arrive at the sect, it is better to call me sect master. Yes, young master, this subordinate obeys the order. What is the task that young master wants this subordinate to complete? When Hong Rui heard that Lin Li was a grandmaster, a look of shock flashed across his eyes. But this was only for a moment. For a person with such great power, there was nothing that couldn't be done. It's nothing. Seeing Hong Rui agree, Lin Rei directly said the last task that Huang Dao Master had told him. It's like this. Huang Dao Master told me that in addition to telling you the news of his death, I should also tell the news of his death to his sect. Yes, this subordinate obeys the order. I will definitely inform the news of Huang Dao Master's death to his sect. Hearing Hong Rui's words, Lin Rei stole a glance at her. Lin Rei wanted to see if Hong Rui was feeling sad because of this Huang Dao Master. Young master, you don't have to peek, I'm no longer sad. Although the departure of Huang Dao made me very painful, I'm already a Deshang stage cultivator. It's impossible for me to be tied down by the love between men and women. Therefore, young master's task, this subordinate will do my best to complete it. I dare not neglect it. Having been exposed by Hong Rui's words, Lin Li's face was boiling hot. He felt very embarrassed. Alright, try your best to do it for a few days. But before that, I want to restore your original appearance. You can't join the Xuanzong sect without any benefits, right? Seeing the awkward atmosphere, Lin Rei quickly changed the topic to Hong Rui's face. Really? My face. Can I really change my face back? Looking at Hong Rui's excited appearance, Lin Rei's heart was very emotional. A person who didn't necessarily steal the forbidden book, but in the end, the person she loved had been dead for thousands of years. This kind of waiting was not something that ordinary people could do. Just based on this point, Lin Rei wanted to restore Hong Rui's face. Yes, but I have to look at your forbidden book's cultivation method first, and then I can study how to lift his forbidden technique. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Hong Rui directly took out the forbidden book without hesitation and handed it directly to Lin Rei. Young master, take it. As long as you can restore my face, this forbidden book is nothing at all. Oh. Looking at the forbidden book that Hong Rui handed over, Lin Rei did not hesitate and directly took it out and flipped through it. When he saw the book's general introduction, Lin Rei was stunned. The mandala forbidden book was created by Fuyang in ancient times. At first, Fuyang created this book on a whim, but later, Fuyang found that this book was a cultivation method that would harm both himself and himself. Fuyang had originally sealed it, but it was stolen by his wife. In the end, this book disappeared from the Tianxian continent. Moreover, this book was at the level of a king-level cultivation method and was very powerful. Cultivators who practiced the forbidden book had to suffer the slow-acting poison of the cultivation method every day, and the pain of having their blood essence absorbed by the cultivation method. However, this was the motivation for people to quickly improve their cultivation. Heavens, Hong Rui, didn't you read the introduction of this book? This cultivation method has its own slow-acting poison, and most importantly, it can absorb the cultivator's blood essence. Blood essence is the foundation of a cultivator. Are you crazy? At this moment, after Lin Rei read the introduction of the cultivation method, he looked at Hong Rui as if he was looking at a lunatic. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Oh, sigh. When Huang Dao and I were in love, I could give up everything for him. At that time, I didn't think too much about it. When I saw that I could quickly improve my cultivation, I immediately practiced it. Later on, I realized the power of this cultivation method, but it was too late to stop. As he spoke, Hong Rui's face revealed a regretful expression, but his eyes revealed a determined gaze. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei knew that if Hong Rui could choose again, he would choose to practice this mandala forbidden book again. Young master, is it impossible to return to the original state? After hearing Lin Rei's words, Hong Rui's face revealed a relaxed smile as if he had accepted his fate. Yes. Oh, I knew it. After hearing Lin Rei's nod, Hong Rui was even more disappointed. However, after hearing Lin Rei's next words, the despair in his eyes instantly turned into hope. It's not completely hopeless. You can say it's simple, but it's also complicated. As long as you correct your cultivation method, and then target the damage caused by your cultivation method, there is still an 80% success rate in refining elixirs. With a plop, Hong Rui knelt on the ground and kept kowtowing to Lin Rei with a grateful expression on his face. Thank you, young master, thank you, thank you. Ahem. Ahem, you don't have to thank me for this. Take this heaven tier antidote pill first, then take it and return to your original appearance. When we find the primordial fruit, your illness will be completely cured. At that time, Yuan will return to her original appearance. It won't be too late for you to thank me then. Seeing Hong Rui's appearance, he hurriedly went forward to help Hong Rui up, and then told Hong Rui what he had seen. However, I haven't found any information about the primordial fruit, so you have to wait a few days. It may take a long time, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or even longer. However, I guarantee that you will be cured within 10 years. Before that, you can go to the pill department of the Xuanzong Sect to receive the disguise pill. It's okay, I'm willing to wait however long it takes. Moreover, so many years have passed, I don't care about these things. As long as I can be cured, I'm willing to do anything. After hearing Lin Rei's words, Hong Rui pursed her lips and smiled. She said indifferently, as if she was not very anxious about this matter. Well, since this matter is over, you can go to the sect of the Huang Daozhenren to inform him. While you're at it, give them these cultivation methods and say that these are the last things that the Huang Daozhenren left for them. I hope that they will cherish them well. After this matter is over, you can leave for the west. Yes, this subordinate obeys. After hearing Lin Rui's instructions, Hong Rui was about to bid farewell to Lin Rui when Lin Rui said, "Oh, that's right. When you reach the sect, you must let my 5 disciples cultivate to the nascent soul stage as soon as possible. Otherwise, when I return, they will be dead for sure." Yes, this subordinate will remember. Young master, do you have any other words for me? After hearing Lin Rui's words, Hong Rui was not in a hurry to leave. Instead, she let Lin Rui finish what he wanted to say. Also, when you reach the sect, tell Bing to cultivate well. Don't let down her peerless talent and aptitude. When I return, I will go back to see her. When Lin Rui said Bing, there was a sense of guilt in his eyes. Especially when he thought about how he had not gone to see her when he returned to the sect and came here first, Lin Rui's heart was filled with guilt. Yes, young master's words, this subordinate will definitely pass them on. Then, this subordinate will take his leave first. Hearing Hong Rui's words, Lin Rui's face revealed an awkward expression, then he let it fade away. You can go. The matters here have already been taken care of. There is nothing else. The only thing I need to do now is to let those 5 little brats break through to the nascent soul stage as soon as possible. Only then can I return home. Ao. At this time, the Scarlet Flame Tiger, who had been beside him, heard Lin Rui's words and roared a few times, as if it was replying to Lin Rui's words. However, Lin Rui did not know what it was. Master, what is your hometown like? I've always heard you mention it before, but I have never been there. A sudden voice directly stunned Lin Rui. At this moment, Lin Rui vigilantly looked around, but in the end, he discovered that there was no one around. Only the Scarlet Flame Tiger was staring at him. Little tiger? Lin Rui asked the Scarlet Flame Tiger tentatively. In the end, it really was the Scarlet Flame Tiger speaking. Master, what's wrong? When he found out that the person speaking was really the Scarlet Flame Tiger, Lin Rui became excited. His face was incomparably excited and his eyes were filled with disbelief as he spoke. It really is you. That's not right. How can you speak? Moreover, you haven't spoken before. At this moment, Lin Rui felt that something was wrong. The Scarlet Flame Tiger had never spoken before, which made Lin Rui very puzzled. Actually, I can speak long ago. It's just that master didn't let me out, so I don't understand ordinary needs at all. Just now, I was watching from the side for so long, so I can only use my divine sense to express what I want to say. If I want to truly have the ability to speak, then I must reach the body integration stage. I believe that I will be able to reach that stage very soon. I believe that you will be able to reach that stage very soon. Seeing that it was really the Scarlet Flame Tiger speaking, Lin Rui was excited for a while. After all, the Scarlet Flame Tiger was a companion that had followed him from the beginning, a companion that fought and slept with him. You're tuning in to the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.